Hello. Nice. I think what I will do is throw this out there. You guys see the
Little
map
map.
of the Ragisian Empire?
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. The pronunciation on that.
I'm going with Ragisian because I like the idea of
Rage
rage being
with
part of it.
the orcs. Yeah.
Yeah. So for background, just in case you guys didn't go into a bunch of the reading, and in no way am I saying you should have. It's just for background,
Fucking
the
losers.
fucking losers. The
You didn't have to. It would just be cool if you were cool.
You'd be
Yeah.
cooler if you were
Be nice if
cooler.
you gave a fuck.
Yeah, you motherfuckers tried. But so the backstory or the sort of lay of the land is the central northern part of this aspect of the continent is the Ragisian Empire. Um, there is a huge forest and a huge mountain range that kind of separates this part of the continent from the rest of the known world. So for this adventure, you will be on where this map is showing right now. The scope of this is not beyond those mountains or beyond where the sea leads. It doesn't mean that you guys can't just decide to go do that, but just know we're not going to be playing this adventure anymore if you decide to go those ways. So that's sort of point one. Point two, the the abbreviated history of the Ragisian Empire is that for the longest time, this whole central northern area was a scattering of kingdoms. Different tribes that sometimes would band together, but inevitably would sort of break down and be incapable of standing up against the infighting that happened. And that is till about 60 years ago, where when Emperor Tongue began his campaign of conquest and started effectively uniting everyone everywhere, kind of by violence. And how he did this is a little bit of mythology for the region. It definitely has something to do with this ever burning rod that he carries with him, as both a weapon and as a totem of battle. But what exactly this artifact is, apart from the knowledge that it is an artifact, it kind of is up to question. There is some rumor, there is this, but the one thing that is also for certain is that it has led Coltung to live a lifespan longer than anyone really considered would be capable for an orc, or half orc for that matter. Um, so there are some powerful magics associated with it. Recently, however, Coltung was assassinated by who no one really knows. But
But it was
what?
still speculated.
Yeah, there's been some
Like
speculations. Exactly.
they don't
Some
really
people.
know that he's actually dead. Nobody's confirmed that.
Well, so the rumor mills are running wild, and the rumor mills are
Uh-huh.
saying somebody killed him, and shit's hit the fan effectively. Um, where you guys are going to start off is in a small place called Gate Pass, which is this tiny slit of a crevice in the mountains that connects the Ragisian Empire to the shining land of the Shalisi. And the Shalisi are elves. And for
All right.
whatever reason, Tongue and the Shalisi have sort of a tentative alliance, though some have always wondered when Tongue would eventually just say, "I'm tired of this, and I want your lands now." In fact,
Well,
that's led to some speculation as to why, or if the elves maybe were the ones responsible for the assassination, if in fact one occurred. Um, Further south, you've got the Sindar and the Ostalin and the Dason. These are three other kingdoms that are independent and have so far kind of held their own and kept the Ragisian Empire at bay, as it would be much more difficult for them to march through the mountains to come in and create any sort of conquest against them. That said, though, it's kind of like living next door to Russia. Sooner or later, it may say, I want your vacation spot, so we take it now. That's kind of what the world has become, or where it was prior to this potential, um, this potential, what is it called? Regicide when you kill a king or an emperor? I think it's
Yeah.
regicide.
Regicide. Yep.
Regicide. Regicide till I die. Okay.
If
So
you're the king,
that
yeah.
that is, yeah,
Hmm.
so if it's emperor, it's empressicide. Just get a lot of S's in there. Empressicide.
I can't
Um,
be saying that.
Right.
can't say empressicide on a plane.
We found
Can't
that
say
out.
that on a plane. Um, all right, so that's kind of the world. One of the things that the
So
adventure,
sorry, Tom. I know you're going into it. I'm just the invite for Roll20 is in Discord again. So you guys can jump in, so you can actually see the map and stuff that Tom's talking about.
it's a great point. I just realized that there's only 3 of us in Roll20 right now.
Yes,
I don't see a map.
that's because you weren't here when he linked it.
But I can
Oh,
do
fair
this.
enough. Oh,
Grab my
there it
map.
is. I can see
Oh,
it.
as others join in, let me know, and I will show you maps as well. All right, so that is effectively the background. The only other big thing that I will talk about is, as all of you are in Gate Pass as the adventure begins, the adventure assumes that you are part of what is known as the Resistance, and the Resistance is people who aren't just ready to jump in and say, we want to be part of the Regician Empire. So if you don't want that as what you are, it will lead to some complications as far as how you're interacting with the others in the party, but that's fine. We can literally work out or work in anything you'd like to do. But the context is that the Regician Empire is marching potentially to go against the Shalici, or the Shining Land, to the east where the elves are. The Gate Pass where you guys are is effectively the only way through the mountains to get there. And Gate Pass has for the longest time kind of held kind of a neutral ground between the two empires, because as it is the only thoroughfare between each side, no one really wanted to expend the effort of taking and then holding that against the other side's forces. So it's kind of been a free agent as this has been going on.
All right, I'm in though.
Okay.
I get the map. Yay!
Yay, there you go. Regional map. There you go. So I think with that said, the next thing I'd like to do is have everybody give let us know what your characters are. So, Chris, you got in here the last, so why don't you tell us about who you are or who you'll be playing?
I'm me,
I'm me. Okay.
and I'm still trying to get this to work. Uh, but I did a Asimir paladin.
Is that what you were doing, Jen? Were you making
Yep.
that one exactly? That's awesome.
I just feel like everyone was like, Ziada was so beefy. We have to be Ziada. That's what it is.
Oh, was
I
Zion
mean,
ambassador? Cool.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, I like. I I'm glad I could inspire you.
So Chris, have you worked out
Well, that's excellent. So we've got twins.
yeah, have you worked
Mm-hmm.
out a name?
I love this so far.
Ezekiel Kane.
Is it Ezekiel or Ezekiel?
Ezekiel Kane. E.
And Dolan is Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel Walker
And then
instead of
Ezekiel?
Kane.
Chris, you had told me that you were kind of going back and forth with regards to the background. Is that something you still want to kind of keep like hidden, or is that something you want to kind of do as a reveal for right now?
Hidden for the moment.
Okay. All right. And the other thing that I had kind of talked about this last week when we were all chatting about this. I like the idea of secrets. So if there is a secret that your character would like to have that is beyond a background or something that's tied to character creation, let me know. I think that rather than creating them and rolling randomly and assigning them, I would prefer that if there's something that you guys would like, let me know and let's see if we can work it into the story. That way you don't feel kind of trapped by it. But
I
and it,
died before I could use it the last time.
that's it, well, I mean, that's true.
Yeah, but it did eventually kind of come in handy at one point.
But not for me.
No, but eventually for the whole adventure.
That's right. That is right. So think about it, and if there's something that you guys want to incorporate into your characters, you don't have to if you don't want to. But if there's something that you're like, I think that this would be a cool idea, then let's run with it. So, all right, Dolan, why don't you tell us about Bezekiel or whatever whoever you're gonna be.
Physical.
Okay.
I don't have a name yet. I'm literally still building the character as we speak. The only two things I had picked were race and class at that point. And question about
Change too. It's not a big deal. I don't have my heart set on that.
Dude, I am all for having an army of Ziyadas walking in front of us.
I mean, have
Like,
at it, guys.
this does not sound like a bad idea.
We also have a cleric to forgive you of your sins when you
Right.
go against your oath there. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your edicts.
And-
Yeah.
Hey,
I
I've been
too am
against my
100%.
whole thing, so
I'm 100% okay with playing a character that somebody else is already playing. It doesn't bother me as long as it doesn't bother you. And
The only
if it
thing-
does bother you, I also
No bother at all. I will say too that something to take a look at as you're going through this is the gate pass connections. Those are things that can be outside of background and character development.
Yeah.
You'll have to keep a note as far as what you want to use, because I don't
Yeah.
think, apart from creating like a unique item in Beyond, I don't think there's a way to record it. But those are all eligible things that if you want to take, by all means, take them. Just let me know that you did it so that I can try to remember what they do.
I would
But-
also be interested, like, not be opposed, Chris, if you wanted to be like siblings or twins or have some sort of connection like that. I'm
So
cool
one
with that
of
too.
the things that we're going to do as we keep working through session 0 is establish that. So keep that in mind. Think about that. But there is there's something that TJ has had some experience with that comes from a different gaming system that allows you to kind of pick what your relationships with each other are, and
Mhm.
and that's I definitely want to do that tonight to get that
Or
established.
even like parent and child. Any sort of.
I think that's pretty funny too. You know, like one of you is the senior,
Exactly.
one of you is like,
Uh-huh.
but
I
you're
could be
both
like
the
an
same
annoying
level,
teenage
but
daughter.
you're both the same level. That's hilarious.
Like, God, Dad.
Mom, I know.
How can you be so lame?
I'll make the meatloaf. Don't tell me how to make the meatloaf. Stop it. So just for also some demographic stuff, Chris and Dolan, since we're talking about your character right now as well, male or female, they, any particular definers that you want to use?
Male.
I haven't chosen, but I'll be female then. And so for okay, never mind. Question answered.
All right, that was easy.
So the only issue I see is that we're all going to be fighting for heavy armor.
Right. Exactly.
We're all friends until.
You guys find one of the following. That's it. I kill you all.
God damn it, Tom! TPK.
Battle Royal!
How did this happen? Oh, I offered them something, so
All right,
they turned
so,
on each other.
Dolan, as you keep looking and working on your character, I'll skip over and say, Kevin, what do we got? What's going on?
All right, so we have. We can send that. The picture that I posted in the thing, in Discord, is there.
Wow.
So that is Nimevra Shirinlith. She is a Twilight cleric who was part of the Regesian. Regess? I don't know. I'm focusing on the rage part. But then when you go Rage Essian, it's like it takes off a lot of the like Rage Essian. Regesian?
They're angry, but they're dumbing it down a little. That's all.
Right. They're working on their their image. All right. So she was a Regesian cleric inquisitor, but she has since left that behind and has taken part of like a new path for her life and her, I don't want to say following, her faith, now that it's kind of been changed and altered by a certain event.
Okay. And are you a human?
Yes, I am a human. Yes, just Twilight cleric, so dark, and I'm gonna be having some guardian spirits around me. So that's where the image comes into play very heavily.
Okay. So I'm assuming that you're as far as the gate pass connections, you went with Inquisitor for that.
Now so where this one? Where are the connections?
So if you look under, it says Gate 4 players, Gate Pass, sidebar. Under New Rules Material, the last one under New Rules Material is Gate Pass Connections.
Connections. Oh, right. So it wasn't this, because I went with the character class options, and for cleric, it's Inquisitor. And I will literally read the whole thing to you real quick right now. Regesian Inquisitors are clerics who specialize in countering enemy spellcasters. They are typically heretics of gods of fire, knowledge, or magic who now revere their leader Leska almost as a god. Their favored weapon is the hand claw, which leaves their hand free to hold items and perform somatic components of spells. Talk to your game master if you would like to play a low-ranking Inquisitor who deserted the Regesian army when you had a change of heart. Your character will be unaware of any Regesian plans or strategy beyond your job to subdue spellcasters and turn them over to your superiors. So, I just had a taste of it, and then I was like, no.
Fair.
And so now I'm gone. But that's literally the whole thing that they have for the clerics. Meanwhile, they have different subclasses for everyone else. So I don't know if that would be my connection. I might look into that a little bit more because something else might be better.
The connections will be outside of that. They are additional things.
Right.
Maybe since deserting the Regesian Empire and your duties there, you've made some other connection or established something within Gate Pass. So
I remember the first time I read these, I was thinking of it from my wizard, and I'm like, none of these work. But now it's like, oh shit, maybe one of them might work for this. So
and again, these are optional. They are not things that you have to take. But if you are inclined, just let me know. All right, very cool. Could you maybe tell us how to spell Nimemra?
Oh, absolutely. Nimevra Shirinlith.
God bless you.
Gesundheit. Yeah, I was wrong. I was guessing, and it was not what I had.
Well, I didn't expect it. Honestly,
I gave it a good shot, but
I was trying to figure something out, but then I had rewatched Metalocalypse recently, and where they have the whole council, and they had Mark Hamill's voice. He's doing these things, and Brendan Small actually made the characters' names like ridiculous for him to have to like stumble his way through. And so I was just like, oh, I love it. Actually, this one's kind of all right, but I like the obscure weird one. So.
All right. Very cool. All right. TJ, you want to tell us what you've got going on?
No.
Yeah, I got a 1 level in sorcerer, 2 in wizard. What?
An Aesir Paladin.
Oh yeah, a third one. No, I've got 1 in wizard and 2. Oh no, 2 in wizard, 1 in sorcerer. I am Moruk Black Moon, Moruk of the Black Moon tribe, and I'm playing an orc. What else here? My background was a mage of high sorcery, trying to get into the mage guild, and I'm working towards joining the what were they called? It sounds like Noonerum, so I'm trying not to say Noonerum. The Nutari. They're the Wizards of the Black Moon, so had to, from tribe to joining that part of the guild. They are, what this mage guild does is they try to make sure that all magic users are using magic appropriately, and that magic that's too powerful doesn't get into the wrong hands. And there's 3 different types of these high mages. There's the Nutari, the Lunatari, and the Solarari or whatever. And each of them is one's the Black Moon, one's the Red Moon, and one's the White Moon. And so I'm joining the Black Moon one. So they're kind of ruthless in their methods.
Okay.
And they kind of they use darker magic, which also kind of goes with the sorcerer that I chose, which was Shadow Sorcerer.
Okay,
So
cool.
That's what I got cooking.
And as a wizard, did you have to choose a school yet, or is that like 3rd level as a wizard?
Yes, level 2 wizard. I chose Order of the Scribes. So what that does is there's no one school of magic that I specialize in, but they kind of all, the Order of Scribes are focused on their wizard spellbook, and they can do a couple cool things, which is recording spells quicker. So it only takes like 2 minutes per spell level to copy into their book, so they can get spells quicker and easier. They can use it as a what's it called? As a magic focus. They can use their book for that. So all they need is the book to cast spells. And then there's also a magic quill that never runs out of ink, so I don't need to pay for ink. When,
That's pretty fun. So you can
cool.
literally graffiti anything whenever you want. You're just like, just
You can
essentially.
I want to spell right now. And
And
you know what? I'm gonna draw a penis on this wall.
Yeah. That's why I chose the character. No other reason.
Quick question: where are these like moon things from?
They are from the Dragonlance
Oh, okay.
campaign.
Dragonland.
What was it?
Dragon Lance, right? Dragon Lance
Yep,
campaign.
Dragonland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dragonlance campaign. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So a sorcerer or wizard needs to can use this background, and then the background starts off with like a cantrip and some spells. So that works with this, and then also with Order of the Scribe, they can change the spell type to any other spell in my in my spell book. So like, let's say I want to do Burning Hands, for example. There's another spell that they did as like Frost Fingers. And the thing with Frost Fingers is that it's 2d8 instead of 2d6. But if I wanted to keep the fire, I can just say Frost Fingers, but I'm changing it to fire. So it's just like an upped Burning Hands.
Nice.
It just needs to be, the spells need to be of the same level, and I need to be able to I need to be able to cast them at the same level. So like a lot of the different spells is like, I'm going to do Burning Hands, but it's actually like a Psychic Ray because I have Dissonant Whispers. So I can change the damage to Psychic, like stuff like that.
As a wizard, just keep in mind that you'll, like, I think it's only once per day, not per rest, that you can change out spells. So if you know more spells than you have, it's only once per day, whether that's like morning or night, depending upon like what you want to flavor your characters as their time frame. But just remember that.
Right, with my sorcerer spells, those are something that I know, and I always have prepared. And then for my wizard spells, I can only prepare my intelligence modifier with my wizard spells. So I can only prepare 6 spells, and I know 10 of them. And I can, like you said, it's per long rest to switch them out.
I've always thought it was pretty cool, the ability to meld those two classes. In the sense that like a sorcerer's powers come from their bloodline or some like innate thing, whereas the wizard studies are just sitting down and hitting the books and memorizing those formulae and getting them perfect in your mind, so you just make them happen. And so you're kind of the best of both of those worlds. You know, like you've just got the knack, but you've also got like the headspace to do it. I think that's really cool.
So one of the big things with this is why I wanted to dip into sorcerer was once I get my next level in sorcerer, I can get sorcerer points, and then I can really mess with spells and make them unique. You know,
very cool.
Do that kind of stuff.
All right. One thing, just because as I'm looking over the notes I just made, so one thing to keep in mind about this campaign, and the book specifically calls this out, is this is a world that very much has some racial hatred going on. Like, if you're not an elf, elves probably don't like you. If you're not an orc, or you are an orc, probably everybody hates you, even the other orcs. So I know that your group will be a pretty tight-knit group, but just know that having people of various sort of heritages may create situations that occur throughout the game. If at any point that is uncomfortable and we don't want to deal with it, so be it. But the way that the game is written is that these are things that may come to pass. So I put that out there so that people are aware of it, and then talk to me about it if it's things that we want to avoid, like any interactions like that, etc.
I had that in mind, being that I'm like a smart orc and didn't really go the strength route, and I feel like the typical orc would be more strength focused, like being barbarian, like those types of classes just naturally, and they like to hunt and all that other stuff. So it's like, oh, physical strength, and then it's like this nerd or something like that. So I figured that they wouldn't, the orcs wouldn't accept me for going through this path, and then the wizards also would be looking down and being like, oh, he's not as smart because he would be, a barbarian, comes from a tribe or something like that. So I was already kind of prepared for that kind of thing.
I got the impression that Gate Pass was actually quite like orcs and half orcs were accepted just like everybody else, and they even held positions of power. And I thought Cold Tongue was an orc himself.
Yeah, the Regessian is pretty orc, but I can totally understand. But that being said, with them being like whatever 40% orcs, I can understand why people would not like orcs, because the Regessian Empire.
Like, people really respected the Regessian Empire. Like, he wasn't a fucking asshole ruler. Well, he was pretty good.
I don't know if I would say they respected. What they did was, well, no, respect is the right word. They didn't want to like, poke that dog with a
Yes.
stick. But prior to Cold Tongue coming into like this being an emperor, the orcs were just these tribes that
Yeah.
would just sort of, again, they were like a wave, right? Like there would be
Yeah.
this like violence that would bring them together, and then they would fall apart. So the world would kind of shake in fear that they would like rise up and then be like, oh no, that's fine. They're back to killing themselves, so whatever. And there's sort of this inherent, I don't want to say hatred, but I'm going to say it, hatred towards them from that. But that said, Gate Pass, you're absolutely right. Gate
Yeah.
Pass is kind of like the Switzerland of the world, right? Where it's just like, you know what? We're going to
It's where
speak
everyone
French,
hides
we're
their
gonna
money.
speak German, we're going to do that. Like we're in the middle of everything. If you want to be here, be here. Just be good. And don't screw this up, because we got a good thing going here.
It was like a safe haven for half orcs I saw.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were saying
Mhm.
something like that.
But in the
Right,
earlier
so
battles for
they
Gate
fought-
Pass, the half-orcs fought and bled
Exactly.
like the rest, and the walls of prejudice fell quickly.
And it's
Lesser
the
blood.
Elvish nation.
Yeah, the elves are the dicks.
They're the dicks, right? Okay.
Well,
Oh,
They're the fucking racist.
As
assholes.
as everyone knows, the elves are
Right,
the
Eric?
bad guys.
Yes.
Hey Eric, what's your character? How are you doing?
We'll get there in one sec. I just want to get this out. The
I'm
elves at
playing the
one point had a
bestest.
much bigger presence everywhere, but due to wars, due to famines, due to a number of things, they have really been encapsulated to their eastern kingdom. This is very Tolkien-esque, and and that has led, like, their loss of power and loss of, like, stature or prominence in this continent has really led to this ideal of, like, if you're not an elf, like, get the fuck out of my face, like, whatever, I don't care, kind of thing. All right, so that's a whole bunch of stuff that I want to say. Eric, tell us about your character.
Oh, okay. Good times.
Asimir Paladin. Okay, great. We rounded it out. Got it
All
done.
right, fantastic. So let me copy a name and paste a name.
I'm
course, I
certainly
don't
not
have my
going to try
teeth in.
saying that or typing it. So
So it's Sovenis Erdelafete.
Excuse you.
I know, right? I took 3 levels in Bard, and I am an
Ooh.
astral elf.
I thought you were just gonna say you were an asshole.
Same difference, really.
Yes.
If you know the astral elf empire,
fucking elves.
they're all assholes, really.
It's the nation of assholes.
It is a nation of assholes, but I escaped because it was too many assholes. I was surrounded by assholes, one would say.
Dark helmet.
Hey, Philip asshole.
So, anyways, right now I'm on a journey to try and attain the title of Magna Alumni through all the elder Bard colleges. I recently completed DOS College and was awarded a DOS loot from it, but some of the previous colleges did not have the prestige where they should and weren't able to give me the instrument of the Bard I was so hoping for, as I want also a collection of those. I was a member of the Astral Elf Empire, had to flee due to catching an ire of certain factions, and not planning on returning there as it's a little too stuffy for my liking.
Okay.
An elf with some self-awareness. That's weird. That's
I
rare.
know, right?
They're known as self.
You can recognize that they're stuffy? Oh. I've never spoken to one of your kind before.
What are you again?
Well, when they're all like evil and you're more neutral, it tends to stick out a little bit.
Right.
All right.
What-
When they're all evil. So I think just because this is a session 0, before I get into anything else, I do want to say I want to be sensitive to topics that are taboo or that people don't want to deal with. With the way that this particular adventure goes, there's a lot of stuff and things that go down in it, and if there's anything that is particularly offsetting, I will do my best to either remove it completely or find a different way to present it. For Kevin, I will make sure that there will be nothing about feet or very minimal things about feet.
Excellent. Perfect. Then
I'll do it.
that's my list.
That's my list. Got it done. But if there is anything, whether people want to talk about it now or shoot me a message or whatever, when I'm prepping, if I see stuff coming up, I will try to modify and make sure that it's not there. I think as a good example of this is when we went through Curse of Strahd. There was a scene right at the beginning of it where the group came upon this old woman that was selling these things called dream cakes, and somebody made a check and realized that dream cakes were literally made from kids that the hags were turning into pies and selling. And Kevin's character immediately went nuts about it, and that was very fitting for the story.
It was definitely an anyway I start blasting.
Yeah, just and kill. And then fast forward a couple years later, and my daughter's born, and I got to tell you, for the first, I would say, first year, the concept of dealing with anything that had anything doing negative things to children, I was like, I don't want to touch this. I don't want to read it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to do it. So,
you were like that before your daughter was born, Tom. I killed a bunch of goblin babies in campaign.
And you were just such a bitch. You're like, but I'm a lawful good paladin. It's just like, shut up. We know. Just walk outside. No, they all died on their own. I don't know why my sword is bloody. Whatever. Get out of here. You didn't see it.
His
Fuck.
character that was mad. It was Tom that was mad.
I was mad. Because it was a dumb thing to do. I still think it was a dumb thing to do. But anyways.
Yeah, he wanted to keep them as slaves. That was better.
Right.
Right?
That was so stupid. Free labor.
Could have used them. They would have made cheese. But anyway.
Yeah.
Goblin cheese. Goblin cheese farm. But anyways, so yeah, so I just want to say, I used to hear people say that in session zeros and go, what the fuck, I don't like this at all. But I do think
but it affects me. Oh, I understand now.
What I was going to say is everybody's in a different headspace at different points, and I think it's a fair point to put out. So
100%.
If anybody's got shit that drives them over the walls, let me know, and I will I'll do my best to make sure that none of it shows up in the game.
Personally, I love triggers in game. I love all the shit. I love all the shit that we can't talk about normally.
Right.
I'm down with all of it.
All right.
As long as our characters don't just decide to get raped with no fighting back, even though I rolled.
And that's funny.
Yeah, but they did too. It's like, I'm the player.
Well, you're getting played. That's how that goes.
It felt like it.
All right. So the other thing that I want to bring up as far as rule, it's funny. I'm making notes about people's characters. I'm making notes about things like Eric wants to have a collection of instruments. That's fun. Kevin and I talked about an event that happened in his character's past. So I made a star next to it, said event, and made a couple notes. Chris, I just have written Ezekiel Kane, Asimir Paladin, not much else. Hidden background. Dolan.
Oh, I need the name.
Wait. Then it goes Dolan, ditto, female. Then move on to the next. But giving people shit aside.
Whoa. Dittos are ungendered.
No,
That's the best part about them. When you're trying to breed, you can use any Pokemon.
So
are you on the same page as me?
I'm just gonna keep moving. So
That's a good idea. I'm gonna make my name Dildo.
Dildo Baggins. No, wait. I'm sorry. I revoked that. Dildo Saggins. There you go.
I'm not that old.
For fun, I'll turn on some fun.
So, where did you have something in Beyond as a campaign? Do we just want to put that in? Right now, I'm using Tomb, but do we just want to use Underworld because we're already in there? We can just
I figured that would be the start.
There.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll try to bring this character over there.
Yeah, I know.
All right. One of the other things that I want to bring up for in this game is, and this is something that I don't think we've had a lot of experience with in really any of the games that we've done before. There is a specific mechanic in the game for dealing with PCs that's not just kill them. I'm not saying you can't make that your go-to choice every time, but there is an aspect of talking it out.
Can you just dial down the volume just a tad bit?
Yeah.
I like it. Yes.
Okay.
I want it to be there, but, you know, background. Relax, guy. You're not the story.
Stop yelling at me. Just stop yelling at me.
No, dun 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 dun.
I need to grab one piece of paper so I can actually cite this for you guys.
I don't know if this is going to help anyone. But the actual campaign for Underworld. How do you do this?
Are you trying to create a campaign?
Click the link and then all your characters come up.
Not all my characters come up, though.
They don't. My characters do below. It's
Mine
available
do.
in campaign
Yeah.
and it's characters. I don't know. Join with this character.
Because I've only got 3 characters that it gives me, and I can't choose any of them. It's like, all right, perfect. That's what I was hoping for. Thank
Are
you.
they already in a different campaign? You have to leave the other campaign first.
Yeah.
Because I can't bring Harbor in here because he's already part of Pirates.
No,
So,
not this one.
yeah, go in
know
there.
Chris had
this
actually
one.
said this to me, that I should create a campaign for this in Beyond, and I just haven't done it yet. That's something I have to do.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I mean, we can use Underworld.
Yeah,
as
I
long
mean,
as we're
we're-
all,
Okay,
Right.
as long as you know where to see it and
Okay.
everything, then
Yeah, and then if anyone's missing, we can just click on the thing and be right there.
So, so the mechanic is called talking it out, and so NPCs can be hostile, neutral, or friendly to the PCs. At times, the PCs will want to change the NPC's attitude, and the PCs can make a charisma, deception, or persuasion, as is appropriate, check, contested by the NPC's wisdom insight check. The actions of the PCs could also change the attitude of the PC by one step. For instance, if you were to save a PC's comrade, or get something back for them or whatever, if they were hostile, that might drop them to neutral without a check. If they were neutral, it might move them to friendly. But basically, there is a mechanism in the game for talking it out, as opposed to me saying we've got to have combat. I think to keep it realistic, though, I'm only going to allow 1 or maybe 2 people to try and make that check, because realistically, if everyone's like, "We're going to talk it
No,
out,"
it's like a perception check. We all get to do it. No. How about this?
I don't like it.
No,
don't
I
like it.
hate you.
I don't like it.
All right, fine. He's gonna try and talk to you. I don't know why.
But
y-
the
I
one
get-
thing that I will the one thing
I
I
get
will
what
say
you
about
mean.
it. Oops, sorry, go ahead.
I get what you mean in a different what's it called, Open Legend. In that system, they have moving the plot forward. There's a rule for just moving the plot forward. It's one person does something that or two, because there's also another way to go about this, but only one person makes the check, and if they fail, there has to be not everyone can lockpick the door. But let's see,
Right.
the rogue goes to lockpick the door, he fails, and then if no one else in the party does an action to move the plot forward, the DM goes oh, something bad happens, or someone opens the door and there's a penalty because they caught you, you're not sneaking anymore. Or if someone else in the party goes I'm the barbarian, I'm kicking in the door, that's a different check. So yeah, they have that rule in Open Legend, is one person per check. If it's your idea, you claim it, you get it.
I'm not
that
saying
type of
yet
thing.
for
Yeah.
particular, it's specifically with talking it out. If somebody wants to aid, if somebody has something to say, put it out there, right? I don't want to make it role play heavy if no one wants to make it role play heavy, but I want that to be an option. And if nobody wants to do it, but somebody says, "Hey, I've got a high charisma, I want to try to do this," I will allow aids to help that, but I'm not gonna. I don't want everybody to just try to make the check and then see what happens. So
Yeah, of course.
So that's talking it out. I wanted to make sure we talked about that tonight in a session 0, just so that we're all aware that that is something in the game that can happen. So you have options as opposed to constantly being like, "Oh God, we got to fight again. We haven't rested." It's like, no, maybe there's a way to talk your way out of this. And if you want to ask me, except for some very specific scenarios, I'm happy to tell you what the NPC is labeled as. Like, are they hostile? Are they neutral? Are they friendly? I mean,
Okay.
from either my interactions with you, like how I describe them, you'll probably be able to figure that out already. But in case if you want to ask, that is something that I can provide as
Yeah,
just
if it's obvious enough or it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, if you walk in the room and somebody goes, "Fuck you, I want to murder you," I mean, he's probably
Whoa,
not friendly, or
what's
he's
he?
exhausted, you know, maybe
Not
he's
friendly.
exhausted, that's
Shit.
just it, so who knows?
It's like that's how I greet people. So
This guy's my best
best
friend. I've
friend.
known since I was a
Right,
kid.
exactly.
I'm gonna kill him.
Hugs. I haven't seen you in so
Hugs,
long.
stab.
Get the fuck off me. Oh, this
Stab
fucking
hugs.
guy.
All right. All right. So we talked about the intro. We talked about backgrounds. You guys are working that out. We talked about secrets, relationships, gate pass connections. Kevin, you were able to find that the gate pass connection section.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Cool. And talking about talking it out. Okay. So levels. This was a conversation that we kind of had a little bit of last week, and I wanted to kind of double back on it. My idea is twofold with this. Because we have this whole adventure, I would like to see the adventure play out. Again, that is to be determined by you guys, and you guys can tell me yes, no, taking too long, etc. But each chapter of the book, and there are 12 chapters total, and they take you from level 3 to level 21. Yes, there are mechanics for level 21 for this adventure, whether or not it's cool or we may have to modify it to be announced. But I know it can be a slog to be the same character that long. And so between chapters, or as we go from one book to the next, or I'm calling them chapters, but one to the next, if you guys want to create another character and they're part of your band, because effectively you guys are going to be building and amassing your own army or be part of armies, you're going to have access to more characters. I think it's a good idea that when we finish a book, to say, do you want to move that character into the next book and keep playing them? Or do you want to make a new character and then you decide? I think that gives people the flexibility to go back and forth, and if a character dies, they have a quick one that they can substitute in if need be. What are your thoughts with that? And if you don't like it, we can do something else, but I thought that would be a neat idea that we could or couldn't use depending upon what you as players wanted.
I don't mind having a different character. I don't know how much it would be like. I would really feel like I want to switch them out unless my character dies. Or, I mean, depending on how long this goes and how much it's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I do want to play X for now. So, like, I can definitely see that. I'm not opposed to it. But I think I'm more of like, as much as we can kind of stick together, that's where we've developed the connections and stuff. But I mean, obviously, it's whatever we can.
So there are parts of this game where you have the opportunity, or you have the choice to make of where you're going to go next. And in that scenario, maybe you want to explore what one of the other options is because you didn't get to go that way. And the idea of having the other character means that we could do that and figure it out. Kevin, like, you had come up with a very different idea for your first character concept for this.
Right.
If you wanted to bring that person into this game, this would be the opportunity to do it. It's my thought for how we can deal with starting at low levels to get to high and give some freedom of movement, as well as like some more character development choices if you want. And if you don't want, that's fine. But I do like the idea of saying, if you guys have like a mix of characters going, I'd stick to probably 2. But if you do that and you realize that like this person works really well with this other character, but they're not part of the same team. Maybe we want to switch them out. It's a possibility, and I think that that's a decent idea to keep at least in the wings for this adventure because it is such a big span. The way that this game is broken down is that each book is basically 3 to 4 chapters, which means 3 to 4 events. Those events will probably be a session each, or I'm going to try to keep them to a session each. When you've completed a book, you gain a level, or you gain multiple levels in a book. The first 2 books, I think it's at the end you gain a level. By the time you're in the 3rd book, you're gaining 2, and then it continues to grow from there as it goes up.
Okay, but can we play the first levels, the first books at a little bit higher level?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna be level 5 then.
All right, so I talked about that.
Perfect.
Damn it, I was
Items?
muted. I was seconding Kevin on that one.
Yeah. So
Just because if we could, I know that you want to challenge us, but if
we
could
played level 3.
get the story. If we could go like level 5 and then don't level up until we get to the appropriate spot, that would be
Right.
awesome.
Not
I don't know.
that like we stay 2 levels ahead of everything.
Yeah,
But, like-
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
No,
that could be
not
fun.
every level keeps going.
right.
Okay,
no, like
So,
if that's
Tom, what are your thoughts on
expectation-
how are you gonna do level 23 when we get there? Since
I
you're
haven't even
creating
thought about
22
level
and
21
23.
much yet, but
Yeah, no, they
great.
provide that. We'll get that at 19. So, but 22 and 23 are gonna be all you. So, yeah, no.
I think that if that is the case,
just
I mean-
from where I got the idea from with Tomb is at the beginning. It's like you can start your players off at 1, 5, or 9, and I was like, I'm gonna do 3. Because if you can do those, you can do whatever. And it recommended if you want to start your players off at level 9, well, it said don't give them any experience points until they hit this level of Tomb, and then
So-
that was it. You know what I mean?
so this adventure does have, I think I may have said this last week, this adventure does have some options where we could skip parts of the books entirely.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I want to play through it,
wanna-
but
yeah, I
just
wanna
like
have
Well, how about this?
the
Would you
experience,
guys-
but
would
I
you
was
guys
just
be willing
hoping
to do
to.
this then? Start this first book at level 4, and at the end of it, or maybe partway through the second book, you'd hit 5, and then there'd be a stint until the next
until we
round,
catch up.
until you catch up. But that would mean you would start off a level higher than you should for this for survivability faction or reasons. That's probably going to give you guys the edge. Yeah, well, actually, 100% is going to give you the edge. But
Yeah.
would that be okay? I think if you guys are all level 5 to start this off, you're just gonna house it, and I would like it to have a little
bit
of challenge. Maybe not a big one, but a little bit.
I mean, I'll take 4.
I mean, again, like this is a discussion. This isn't like a gavel being banged and a judge making a ruling. It's just like what are your thoughts in return to that, or in response to that?
I mean, I'm cool with. Well, I was fine with doing easy mode at the start, and then we catch up, and then all of a sudden it's like, hold on, things are getting difficult, and then you start giving us experience at the appropriate time. But I was hoping just to be like, hey, you guys have a lot of abilities, learn the characters and whatnot, and then we still get to experience the story. It just by us being over leveled a bit, we get to go through it pretty quick, and then that was my thought.
All right,
Yeah,
TJ,
it's a new game plus.
You make a compelling argument, but I like fate. Pick highs or lows, roll a d20. If it's lows, you start at 4. Oh, no, you pick highs or lows. If it's what you pick, you start at. I'm making the rules work for me either way. But if it's
We're
what you
starting
pick,
at 20.
you start at level 5.
But if it's high, you're on the
not
high
what you-
part of
if it's
3.
Not what you pick.
Wait, what?
All right, so high level, picking high.
All right.
I don't know what
4 it
that
is.
is.
All right, but
4
however,
it
I
is.
will say this: that when you complete.
Wait, that's a D12. Hold on.
No.
It said D20.
Oh no! It says a d20. It says roll a d20.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm seeing Kevin's roll. What the hell? Never mind. I rolled down. I see it. All right.
All right, but let's do this. So you guys will start at level 4. When you complete the first book, you'll be level 5, and we'll kind of slow grow it that way. Maybe one of the books that you double level be where you catch up. You just won't do the level till the end of it, or something like that. But I like this idea. That's cool. All right. So the next thing I wanted to throw out there was items. So everybody, did you want to go shopping with cash, or do you want to just start with starting items? And also, you guys can pick a common item that you have to start with as well.
I mean, I always go starting items.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's just always stuff that they throw in, like clothes or, just whatever. There's blanket, fucking herbalism kit. It's like, oh, cool, yeah, perfect. I have these. Of course I do.
I will also give everybody 100 gold to spend on stuff and things if you want to buy them. If you want to just have 100 gold on you, that's fine. But you have 100 gold to spend on, maybe you want a healing potion, maybe you want another set of clothes, maybe you want whatever.
Cool.
Okay. I think that this is probably a good point to bring up another key factor about the world. And that is, it is currently December. And in December, they have a festival that happens. The festival is known as, oh, what the hell is it? I didn't jot
I
it down.
just had it.
Yeah, it's
Blessed by Dreams, Festival of Dreams.
Festival of
Holiday
Dreams,
Parade.
So in December they have a festival called the Festival of Dreams that is for 2 reasons. One is to celebrate the turning of the seasons from the middle of winter towards the spring and the resurgence of life, and the other, it kind of ties into the mythology of this world, and I don't want to reveal too much of the mythology now because maybe some of the characters will choose backgrounds or connections that will help with it. Maybe some of it will come out further in the story. But there are several big figures. There's the dragon, there's the eagle, I think it's the boar, and there's another one. I can't remember what it is. But these figures are
Oh, these are the things that the 4 spirits or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Dragon, the worm, the
worm,
kraken,
the dragon, the eagle, and was it the boar?
the kraken. Kraken is
that's
water,
Kraken.
worm is earth, and then the dragon
The bird
and eagle.
is air. Yep. And the dragon is fire. Yep. So it is, and so there's not really gods per se, but these creatures personify the elements and bring about a sense of divinity to things. Now, you don't have to be one of them. You don't have to look up to these creatures, but they're kind of like totems that are universally known or accepted. So maybe you do have a deity that you want to say is, as a cleric, Kevin, that Nemevra, did I say it right? Nemevra?
Yes.
Nemevra. Maybe she
Nemevra.
has.
Yeah. Not everyone has to be. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, it's a work in progress, but like
that's why I took a little bit where it's just like I don't know. Did you? Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet.
So, but think about that too. Like, is there like it kind of gives you free reign for domains that you want to use. You don't have to be. You don't have to be like, I follow Tyr, the god of like courage and justice, but I really wanted fire as my domain. Doesn't matter. Like, you can just pick what you want, and if you want to say that one of these mythic animal figures is your deity, you can go with that. If you want something different, that's cool too. This particular campaign gives the freedom for that, and likewise for all other characters, like maybe like as a token of good luck, you wear a symbol of worm because you're tied to Earth, or maybe like your character Eric, Sylvanus. I did it do it right?
Sylvanus, yes.
Yeah, so maybe Sylvanus, being an astral elf, has a connection to like the eagle, because the eagle is air, space, like etc. Maybe that's there. Maybe it's not, but who knows? All right. So yeah, so you guys are doing starting equipment. You have 100 gold to spend or just keep on you, whatever you want. You have a common item, so look up common items and grab one, whatever you want. The other thing to mention is, so in December, like I said, there is this
Cold.
festival. Yes, what?
It's cold.
In
It is
December.
cold.
Cold.
Yes, it is cold. I thought you said hold. That's what I was like, okay, what? So, you're very I'm trained. I'm like,
Okay,
what?
but am I holding for something? No, just stop talking.
What's happening? It's quiet now.
You've
but-
been going for a while, Tom. Enough.
You've all noticed. Everyone has noticed, and there's chatter about this, that it is cold, like more so than it should be right now, and the festival should be celebrating like the break in the seasons, as like this is like the kind of like December in this world is like the equinox where it stops being like getting darker at night and it starts getting lighter, and it is starting to get lighter, but there hasn't really been that break in the cold. It just seems that since this potential like assassination has occurred, something's wrong and things are getting colder. This is not Rime of the Frost Maiden Part 2.
Sure,
Part
it
2.
sounds like it.
But when I read that, I'm like, everyone's going to be like, God damn it, Tom. But I did want, that is something that you are aware of, that you know.
You know, the first character that I started looking at was a bard, and I'm like, I can't play a fucking bard to start in every one of Tom's games. And yet he pulls out the fucking cold every time. And it's cold, but not when you teleport. Then it's hot.
I have the same thought about being a druid. I'm always a druid when I play with Tom, and I was like, the first thing I was looking at was druid, and I'm like, fuck that. Go.
It makes me happy because in TJ's game on Saturday, I play Wildfire Druid, and I'm very happy nobody picked that, because that's some shit I don't want to deal with. Because TJ's going to deal with it, and I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with it. In fact, it's another class that TJ's like, any further games, no one plays this. No one gets to play this. All right.
It's not that, but yes.
Well,
Yeah,
it's aggravating, but
It's not that bad, but yeah, it is banned. So
it is for sure banned.
right.
The next thing I wanted to bring up is, so we have been experimenting and using a different type of initiative where enemies go, the party goes. Do we like that, or do we want to go back to individual initiative? I'm happy to do either, but I wanted to put it to the group.
I like it. My one thing, Tom, that I started to kind of decide to do, and I don't know if implement this or whatever, is still have people roll initiative, just kind of so that way if someone does roll higher or something, they might go before the monsters, but then it's like, okay, now it's monster, so we'll start from there. Kind of like giving one side the ability to try and act first for at least a little bit. Usually I would just do that with the monsters, so that it's like once you guys like got there, it's just kind of are there any monsters who were able to pull something off before the fight started? And obviously in ambush they'd all be able to go, but I like that sort of thing, the one team and the other.
Okay, so like again, I think that everybody roll initiative is a good way. Like the game that I've been playing with Tarn, the Hero Kids, I roll once for the monsters and she rolls her initiative. Against the higher goes first, and then she goes and the monsters go, kind of thing. So what I would probably do for my own sanity is maybe roll only 1 or 2 die depending on the scenario.
Yeah.
Then that would be, if you guys beat that, you get to go first. If you don't beat that, then the monsters get to go first. If that sounds agreeable using this form.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then I would say, like, would it be something where I'm not sure, like, have everyone roll, and then you can see kind of where people line up. So then if you're trying to have them go and people roll higher, I don't know. I'm kind of saying that mostly because I had already chosen the item that I was going to go with, and it's a excuse me, a sentinel shield, which gives me advantage on initiative rolls and perception checks, but mostly initiative rolls is kind of useless without that. So it's like advantage on them is also useless. But if that's the case,
I think so. I think that for finding out who goes first, right? Because there, even if it's joint initiative, we still have to see who gets the first initiative. So what do you guys think? Like, so Kevin's raised his point. What do you guys think?
I'm fine with that. I like both the initiative. The old one I think works fine, and then all going together creates more discussion. I think that's the benefit of that one. So having it be a little bit more organized, where people roll and see if monsters get it more, or players get it more, that's a good idea. So just making the all one side more organized, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I tend to kind of go that route as well. If we can all, as a party, go together, or all the allies go together, and then all of the anti-allies go together, it creates for more conversation, and then we're able to work a little bit more cohesively.
Is
And I
that
think
the
it
nice
goes
way to
faster.
say enemy now? Anti-ally? We don't
Yes,
say
that's
enemy, we
correct.
say anti-ally?
well,
True.
I mean, if there's 3 parties out there, one's maybe neutral, but they're not an ally, so
We've got
anti-allies.
allies, anti-allies, and then those guys. It's just those guys over there. But okay, yeah. So Chris, actually, just so we hear from Chris and Eric, you guys are
Yep.
fine with this?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Again, like when I was jotting down like questions for session 0, I wanted to get this stuff hashed out just so, as we kick it off, we know where we're at. Everybody's got a good idea where we're at. So, all right, cool. I just want to grab a different notebook to look at something real fast. So other things, homework for people who haven't done it yet, because I can't do anything with it in the moment. If you guys have pictures, throw them in the Discord channel, and I'll work on getting them on into Roll20. The other things to think about are gate pass connections and secrets. Those are things that I don't want
Snack
to limit
time.
to session 0. Like, if you guys want to like pick one, or you think of one, and you're like, oh my god, this works really well, just let me know and we'll get that done. I got that. Oh, so this is just sort of a concept. Do you guys enjoy having like music in the background as we play, or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
The reason I asked this is, so I recently found, so there are channels that you can get for Discord. There are people who have put together like music channels that are like, 10 or 12 different songs that you can put on a loop that each play for like, 5 or 6 minutes each. But we have to put a bot in there. And so I experimented on the server I did, and I really liked how it came out. But I don't own this server. So Kevin, would you be down to maybe putting one of those bots in the server, so that rather than having to like use Roll20 to do the music, which, because my computer is old and sucks, just bogs it down, that we could just have Discord doing it? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, excuse me. I had tried to do that at one time before, and it did not seem to really translate. But if we can get it to work and everything like that, then yeah, I've got no problem with it.
So maybe some point before we play again next week, you and I can just like
What's
log in.
what's the thing's name?
It's called Green. Oh, I just did it. It's Green something.
Green Day?
Oh my God, you're right. No, it's if you go up to, hold on, I can do it if my computer will let me. Oh, stupid. Oh, TJ, I love your character's artwork. I just love this.
Yeah.
By the way, nerd
Pondering.
is the right call. Nerd is definitely the right call. Nerd. Okay, it's called Green Bot, like
Okay.
the color green and then bot. So if you look for it, that's it. And then I've got this concept. I don't know why, but like I found a channel of kind of like fantasy Arabian type music, and I just think it fits this setting with like the Rajician Empire and all of this, and it'll be an interesting kind of like curtain behind everything as we go. And since it's in Discord, you guys can control how loud or not loud it is, so that it's not
Cool.
like in Roll20 where like the music's playing and then I have to control it. You guys can. So, okay. So with that said, it's 10:30 right now, and the next big thing that I'd like to do is I'd like everybody to establish how they know each other. But I think what I'd like to do is read some of the beginning of the adventure and then throw it to everybody to talk about what their relationships are. But before I do that, I need a beer because I want to have a beer while we start doing this. So I'm going to take a quick break and I will be right back.
I did not even look at that.
So that is also in Underworld. If you scroll up a little bit, where there's the attachment above what my character looks like, War of the Burning Sky. Nope, that's not the right one. No, right above that, where TJ said this, and it's suggested histories for Monster of the Week.
Yep.
There's 12 of them. So I just rolled a D12. That was the D12 that TJ was trying to get level 5 with. But I just rolled the 8th one. So I'm going to go off of that. That being said, because I was an Inquisitor who like turned off of the path, I was going to be looking for someone to be a spellcaster that I could have a background with. And so
I think that Monster of the Week actually had one of those classes is called Inquisitor. I hope that you rolled it 7 and 7th is Inquisitor, but I don't know. That would just work
you
out
rolled
well.
the 7, but I rolled an 8.
D12. Oh yes, D8. Yeah, I don't know which one it is. All the same, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and if I look at and honestly, I'm gonna look at these and go, no. All
There's
right,
a lot
D12
of them
again.
that repeat. All of them have like the family form
Right.
on them.
Which, already check off for 2 of you.
Indeed.
And also, everyone make sure, please, to go up to the top right where there's the gear and change the display name. So when I look down, I can see what your character is. So when I go, hey, Eric, your character, I don't fucking know your character. So we'll be able to do that. We've got Morok, Nemevra.
I love how Kevin's saying this after the goddamn Pirates game, where I spent a year calling Drac and Rack the different names because they weren't listed that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
I was like, Drac.
You still mess it up, and there's times where it's like things that like have really come into play, and it's just like all of this happens, and I just let it happen, and then it's like, yep, you give it to this one. Fuck! I meant to give it to the other one. It's like, yeah, I know, but what you said was... but your words were...
Oh my god, Dolan. Melchizedek?
Melchizedek. Come on.
Melchizedek. Oh, no, I gotta write it out phonetically, so I gotta...
Melchizedek.
You just call me Mel.
Melky?
Sure,
Mel-
Melky.
Well, hold on.
Melky's
If you
Melky's
think
Ed.
for a minute, if you think for a minute that I'm not going to call Kevin's character Nim, you're mistaken. Like, I'm not saying that every time.
Well, we'll see.
Also, I love that Chris is still Chris. Everybody updated, but Chris
Yeah.
is still Chris.
He says by me.
You did.
He's like, fuck you guys, I'm sleeping.
Fuck you guys. I'm Chris. Okay.
No, I was still typing. Relax.
You know, well, actually, you know what's
It's a
real
long
fun?
name.
What's real fun is I was like, Ezekiel Kane is a K for Kane. Nailed it. Got it.
Nice.
All right.
I did not.
I did not. All right.
I went CANE.
Yeah,
The
like-
heroes, if you guys are to be known as such, have been
Is our
told.
name the Hebrews? Is that what you just said?
Heroes.
Listen, all you Hebrews and Shebrews.
Like Hebrews? That's sexist.
I don't go by this. Call me a she.
I think it's a couple other ists as well, but
So
I
let me
only
just
go
do
by
this.
Bruce.
Let me just do this for a minute. Okay.
X Bruce.
The people in this adventure that you are playing have been told to meet Torrent at the Poison Apple Pub a little before midnight on New Year's Eve, and to use the alley door. The pub has been closed down since its owner was arrested, but Torrent got permission from the owner's wife to use the building for the evening. Despite the rather dire circumstances, she doesn't want the new year to arrive without some sort of celebration. The people of the city know an army is on the way, so the streets are fairly deserted, and normal festivities have been muted at best, letting all of the people in this party travel unmolested. The pub is in a poorer district a little over a mile from the western city wall, filled with slush-covered cobblestone streets and dark, snow-filled alleyways. The evening is dark, and the mood claustrophobic. The multi-story buildings of the city loom into the night, darkening the darkness even further, as virtually no lights shine in most windows. As you trudge through the snow, perhaps we should know how you know each other.
You know what? I'm just gonna do this.
How do you do the voodoo that you do so well?
It sounds
All
like
right.
Chris should go first. So,
Tom.
So actually, TJ, can you take us through this? Like, can you what is the monster of the week technique? Like, is it just somebody rolls, or how does this work?
Yeah, typically there was a roll. You kind of review the history and choose one. We already kind of introduced everyone's character and what like their background is. I don't know. I'm sure if there's more for Chris and Jen to go over. If there's anything else you want to tell us about your character. And then, as you're talking about what your character is, people would take notes and be like, "Oh, I would be better related this way because you said that you're a paladin," and like Kevin would be like, "I'm a cleric, so maybe I blessed you at one point and we've known each other, or we're from the same order, or then the ideas flow that way. But usually it's just one person goes around and goes, I was thinking that we could be related this way. Are you cool with that? And you keep doing that until everyone has some kind of relation. So I don't know if you want to do a roll off.
Mel rolled a 7, and
Yeah,
Eric
which
is
brings me-
wait, and Eric is attacking the party.
That was an accident.
It's quite vicious.
Your background is you're the saboteur. All right, you revealed your card right off the bat. Okay. So why don't we do this? Everybody roll everybody roll a d20. Mel.
That's what I
reroll
was
your
gonna ask.
12. Yeah.
I'll be going later. I knew someone was
Wow.
gonna.
Oh, Morok wants it. Morok needs it. All right. Oh.
Ooh.
You're not going last, Nim. So,
Oh, jeez.
oh wow. All right. So let's start with Moruk. Moruk, what is your connection? Who is the person that you know that you have some kind of bond with?
Kevin and I discussed him with him being in what's it called, Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
That at one point he was hunting me and had a change of heart over being like he was hunting magic users, and then I'm not sure if it's because I'm
Blade
also I'm yeah I'm it could be that I am
Gorgeous.
I know,
gorgeous,
right?
first of all.
Gorgeous.
But it also
It's like I
could
was
be-
gonna kill you, but you're amazing. So
God.
like,
I, do
I mean,
have,
instead,
Super attracted to you.
You ain't gonna.
I was gonna say that with the being part of like the Mage of High Sorcery, and then maybe we get into a situation where we're like, okay, here are my beliefs about magic. What I do as a Mage of High Sorcery is to keep magic in order, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe you have a change of heart that way.
So
so
that's
I was
interesting.
thinking of it more in terms of like we got it, or more. I was hunting magic users, and maybe I got
So-
track of you, and I got
Let
into
me-
some situation, and
let
you.
me put in some like real world like ongoings, and this might help facilitate this. So one of the things that's happening in Gate Pass right now is all magic users are slowly being rounded up and locked away because oh my god, I can't say it.
Regessian?
Regessian, thank you. Wow, I was like Regissarian. No, that's too
Right,
much.
exactly. You
The-
wanted to put too many syllables.
Yes, the Regessian Empire has put out a bounty on mages that they're willing to pay 100 gold a head for any spellcaster to ensure that they are in fact friendly to the Regessian Empire, because if they are not, then they are either to be confiscated and put to death or put to other uses. And there is a group that is running around that Kevin's character used to be part of the Inquisition that is doing this, because one of the ways to make sure that a populace never gets more powerful than its emperor is to crush spellcasters, or make sure those spellcasters see the same light that the Empire sees. So use that
Yeah.
as you will.
Oh yeah, that was
but-
where that whole thing was based on. Because
What
the
I would also
Inquisitor
what I would
stuff.
Also like to say, what I would also like to say is, because TJ's going first, TJ, I think you should establish this. I think you guys can work together, but Kevin,
All right, cool.
when we
Yeah.
get to you, I want you to establish a relationship either back with him or in a different way. So
Yeah.
I think
All right,
this
cool.
is TJ's.
Oh, you want like the two different relationships?
I think everybody picks one, and then go from there, if that works, if that's okay.
According
So
to the
I-
thing that was posted on Reddit, you roll a d8, and then the person that, like, whatever comes up with the other person can roll another d8, and then that will kind of compound. Are we able to do
Yeah.
that?
For like Monster of the Week, if Jen says to Chris, "Oh, are you cool if I'm your daughter in this?" And then he says yes, then they establish the connection both ways.
Oh,
instead
okay.
of doing it over and over again, because then it's like, oh, but you're my dad, but you also know a grave secret about me. Or, you know,
Well, what I was thinking is, in order for the group to have a better bond, is that each person would have a chance to additionally bond with another person if they so chose. So
Definitely.
clearly, there's a bond.
yeah, everyone with everyone.
this is,
Like,
this
and
is-
it might not be like that
Now
big.
we're talking.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Monster of the Week is that, so when I rolled this way, I would offer something to each person, and then go from there and say like, okay,
Oh,
here's
okay.
Yeah,
I thought
it's-
Monster of the
yeah,
Week
and-
only let you do one at a time.
no, it's everyone. You need relation with every other hunter in that group. So this would
Okay.
be me putting up something in offering, and someone can either accept or decline, and then they can counter offer and keep going back and forth until we say, here's how we're starting the relationship. And
I like this.
then
Okay.
and then we
great.
get to see how it evolves over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
So in that case, Moruck, have at it. Like go nuts, Moruck.
All right, so my only thing on that is my consideration was for me to change my whole viewpoint and everything is I wanted your character to have saved me from whatever something it was. I got in and I was being ambushed, and then you were just like, for some reason she doesn't seem bad or whatever, and then you saved me, and now it's just like, well, okay, but you're a spellcaster, and you're supposed to be evil, and you help me for no reason.
Okay, having a change.
Change.
Like you were following me to turn me in, and then someone ambushed you, and I helped
Right.
step in, and then we were able to start. And I like it. It's
Right,
cool.
and that's where it started. So yeah, cool.
And we can do get more details as you go, but that's
Right.
awesome to start. Yeah.
Kevin, I failed to ask this question of several people. Are you a male or a female or a
Female.
Female. So are we setting up another Archon Elenoa right now? Is that what we're doing? Is that what's
Potentially, I am a healer,
Alright.
so.
I do know bone broth recipes, so
happening? All right,
already
so
getting a
wait,
head start on that.
just
Right?
so I get everything. So, actually, I should have asked. So
That was before we were presenting pictures.
Yeah, is Moruck no, Archon had a picture from the start. Archon did, but is Moruck a male
Okay,
or a female?
just
male,
move it.
right? From the picture?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
And that was most of the consideration for Nemevra.
Yeah.
You saved my life, but I'd still turn you in if you were ugly.
if you were ugly, okay, but you are something. And Eric, is Venus a male or a
Male.
female or
Male.
a gloop, or you just don't know?
It's a male.
Male.
Can you hear me? Hold on.
I did. I heard you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So TJ, as you're starting this off, do you want to try and establish something with another player?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Or if you want to go around until everyone has one, either way, I can
Yeah.
keep,
All right. Let's
keep
do that.
going. I'm
Yeah.
kind of reading through them
Yeah.
now.
Let's do
Yeah,
that. So the
that-
next
that's a good
person
idea.
Was Sovinus. So Eric, Sovinus, who do you think you have a relationship with?
Ooh.
It's not that kind of relationship, Sovinus. Settle down.
Or it
can
could
be.
be.
It can be a romantic thing, but I just read it.
Right, exactly. You're
What kind of elf
romantically
are you?
obsessed.
Are you the elf with the male penis or the female penis?
Eric just goes. He starts off with romantically involved with that person. It's like, all right, I accept. It's like the next time he gets around, all right, Jen, now romantically involved with your character. TJ,
I like how
Quickly going to
maybe
Baldur's
Eric is
Gate.
like, I'm romantically
it's like, I guess,
involved
fine.
with Dolan's character, and Dolan's like, I am not romantically involved with his character at all.
That's
Like, he
that's
thinks, yeah, I
okay.
am, but I am not.
That's okay. I have invisibility all the time. So
So Eric, what do you
it's like,
think?
I don't like where this is going.
I don't like what this is going on.
I watch you sleep, not like in a weird way. I just
Right.
while you're sleeping. I mean, that's
I'm watching over you.
yeah.
Always.
I sleep with my eyes open. I'm not sleeping. Staring. So Eric, take it away. What do you got?
I don't know. That's the whole thing. I'm trying to think as a spellcaster, as a
So-
bard, not in the
So go.
not in the horny bard way.
Well,
Roll a die.
you can. Eric, did you go into the Monsters of the Week thing?
No, I haven't yet. I didn't know where you guys posted that.
Okay, so that's in Underworld. If you scroll up, if you see where my character is, and then there's Way of the Burning Sky, right above that, TJ put something in there that says this, and it's suggested histories from Monster of the Week.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
click on that, and then
Okay.
that's what I was saying with Jen is there's 12 of them. If you want, just as a start, you can roll a d12. It'll give you one of them, and then you can choose one of them, or you can roll for it and choose someone to be like, okay, based on the dice or based on my decision, Chris, you're this. Does that sound good?
What's kind of interesting, Monster of the Week, just for full disclosure, is that like once another player has selected a hunter, that hunter has a unique list that is outside of these 12. And
Yeah.
so there's a little bit more freedom with it. So if you roll a d12, Eric, and go, I don't like what I picked, you're not stuck with that. Like, you
Oh
can,
yeah,
you can go wherever you want. So
Okay.
I did. I don't think I made that clear enough this time, but yeah, because it's like, if any of these, I'm like, no.
So by the 12, because I see obviously each of the pages has a
So that it's
numeric.
just each
Yes.
of the pages.
Yeah, that's what I figured. All right.
Yeah. And then there's a 13th one that's just
Of course.
explaining what it is.
It doesn't even matter. I
Obviously
roll a
avoid-
one.
Right. No, you don't have. That means you don't have to scroll. That's even good here.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I have to read these over.
Well,
And
why don't we do
honestly,
this?
you can. There's 8 of them. If you wanted, you can roll a d8 to choose whichever one.
Or we can give
See
you a
if it's
pass. If you want
anything.
to take a moment.
Yeah, give me
Yeah.
a pass, and let me come back to this.
All right. So I think the next person up was Mel.
Dolan.
Or no,
Mel-
yeah,
yeah,
was it
no.
Mel?
Yep.
It was Mel. So Mel, you're up.
Melchizedek.
I'm going with Mel.
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek.
Oh wait, I have it
didn't.
phonetically written out. Melchizedek. Yep, I've got it written here.
I
Yep.
didn't want to go with the k, even though it felt like it would be better.
Yeah, it is better.
So,
Right? It is. I'm like, no, it's
Wait.
this, right? No.
I apologize because I can't remember, and I've been playing a lot of Pathfinder Second Edition lately. So, when you choose Aasimar in 5e, do you have to choose your heritage, whether it's like angelic or no celestial or infernal, or like you just
No,
do whatever
it
you
just
want?
made it celestial. Celestial was the only option that
Really?
Yeah. And it
Okay.
even specified that like tieflings are essentially like half human, half demon or infernal, and that Aasimars are essentially half human and half celestial.
Celestial.
Okay. All right. I mean, listen, that so be it. But
So the
so-
tieflings and it made it sound like the tieflings and Aasimars were the opposition of each other.
you know
That's
what?
just on that's just on D&D Beyond.
That's some classic D&D Beyond racism. Those
Mhm.
goddamn asshats.
Yeah.
But-
Well, I mean, that's the one thing that they did right.
I mean, they continue to do that. Yeah.
Right. So I only
Wait,
see
wrong
8
fucking thing.
options and
No.
then 8 options for each of those 8 options. You guys are saying 12, so it makes me think I'm not in the right place.
On the history thing.
I'm looking at something that says 64 unique party connections.
Oh, so no, that I mean,
Okay.
that was one that I had posted. But if you scroll down to the pictures, mine with my picture with the spirits going around,
Yeah.
just above that where TJ put this, it's suggested histories from Monster of the Week.
Oh, I see it. Okay. It's not
So
that.
that has 12 of them, and each of those have 8.
Got it. Okay. Open. Oh. Okay. Got it. Okay.
What did I have?
So,
8.
well,
By the way, is anybody else, as Mel is working, is anybody else disconcerted by like the feathers on this woman's dress? Like,
I mean, they're definitely. Like it's weird because is it like a necklace or
is it part of the dress? Is it part of the
right?
necklace?
Because
How is
if
it in
it's
front of those robes?
exactly
Like, yeah.
exactly.
Like I've been
That's
thinking this.
that's
since I
why it's
saw the
like, is it a
picture. I'm
necklace?
just glad I could ask the question. Yes. Okay, I was like, that's a cool picture, and then I'm like, I have questions. I don't know what I'm looking at.
I don't think I was supposed to be on this page for this long.
I shouldn't be looking at this any longer.
I think we were supposed to be rolling for something already.
Okay, so one of my first rolls, I think I rolled a D8 originally, and it rolled a 7, and I'm back on the 64 unique party connections just because it's a little bit more easier for me to wrap my brain around. 7 is a relationship of fate. So does anybody want to partner with me in a relationship of fate?
Maybe that's your connection with Eric.
I can. I actually just wrote something down for you that I believe that you are part of some kind of prophecy, and
Okay, so
I was going to pitch
the
that
first
to you.
one
So
under that is bound together by an ancient prophecy.
yeah, it can. It doesn't need to be the case. It could be that I just believe it, just kind of like beginning of Morpheus and Neo, where Morpheus is like, oh, he believes so.
Yeah,
so
maybe
much.
I don't believe it, but you believe it, and you're like literally kind of
Yeah.
trying to get against me.
Yeah, like I've mentioned it to you, and you're like, "This is weird. That's a lot of pressure, man."
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh no, yeah, don't worry." And
Okay,
so
I like that.
my motivation to protect you is being like, I need a protector so that the prophecy that this place will be freed will be,
Well, come
we
to fruition.
yeah, we can work
Okay.
out the prophecy as we go. But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that one,
100%.
So,
Okay.
so I have Mel, Fate, Moruk, Pact of Prophecy. He believes, she does not. Does that kind of encapsulate it?
yeah.
Cool.
Anything else you want to add?
Me?
Jen? Yeah.
No, that nails it. We can get out the details later.
Perfect.
But yeah, like that.
I should also share that for full disclosure, I have TJ Moruk saved Kevin Nim from ambush. Nim, he's dope? Question mark.
Perfect.
Just making notes. Just making notes. All right.
He's dope is exactly right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said it, but it's right.
I don't want to admit that that's correct, but it's correct. All right. So that was Dolan. Let's throw it up. Who was next? I think it was Chris, right? Chris was next.
It was not. He rolled a 2.
Oh, that's right. So it goes to you, Nim.
So, I don't know. This is kind of tough because I've been looking at like a few of them trying to find stuff. So I totally get some of this stuff. But
remember they're a guide. Like you can come up.
Oh
with
yeah.
too if you need.
Well that's what I started with DJ. So the relationship, because what I rolled, relationship of fate, working to find a prophesized savior. But I feel like based on what TJ was just saying, it's like, oh, that would be cool. We have that, and then if you think that she is,
I just feel like you guys are setting Chris up to be the anti-hero. He's like, I'm the fucking savior. What's wrong with you, asshole?
No. He's just like, no, dude, stop pressuring my daughter with all this stuff. And then
my daughter's
me like
sister.
Cain and Abel.
I'm pressuring my daughter's sister, who's the same age as me.
Let's just hope that it's not something where it's kind of a situation where he's kind of like a manager, father that's Lindsay Lohan
manager?
sort of
Yeah,
thing.
That sounds the worst. That
Well,
is the worst relationship.
Lindsay Lohan, Michael Jackson, Britney Spears. I mean, you don't hear good things in that
God is
sort
my
of case.
manager. Well, that doesn't sound healthy. Okay. Okay, so
So-
so Nim, who are you connecting with? I'm trying.
I mean, I want to have some sort of connection with the paladins. I'm feeling in some sort of way, probably based on maybe kind of. I was at some point just kind of ran into them. I assume they were kind of doing stuff, and we connected over. I don't know. I don't know exactly what kind. Actually, what oaths do you guys go for? Do you have any beliefs in any higher power or?
Yep.
Yep. Maybe share that like as the
But
DM,
do
I'd
you-
love to know.
The one true God, obviously, and
So you're just like a right-wing Christian? Awesome. This is gonna be great.
I'm a monotheistic paladin. And I did take an oath of something. I think there was only one option, and it was something.
So for your oath, you should have several options, I think.
I only gave me one option. I think it was
Oh,
devotion.
If you join the campaign,
and build it in there.
yeah,
You should have multiple oaths to pick from.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of oaths.
you have to make sure.
I mean, if you want to go with that, that's fine, and then maybe like we can work with it. But
Right.
you have more.
But make sure you see the options that you have.
So, how do I join the campaign?
You already have your character made. It's
I
not
do.
just in the. Okay, so right above my picture, what Kevin posted, that's the campaign to Underworld, and when you press join, it will say like join with the character, and you should be able
Or
to-
create a character.
yeah.
But she already
Oh, yeah.
created it,
It's
right?
already
So
made.
yeah.
It's already made. Yeah.
Got it. I mean, I can remake it. No, I mean, I just did it while we were sitting here. Like it's.
yeah,
We'll have
but
lots of options. So
yeah. So then you can just go back and create the character and go back into manage, and then you can see all the different ones that pop up. You can have like 10 or something.
Yeah, there's a bunch of choices.
Okay.
How about you, Chris? What did you pick for? No, he's oathless, which I think is an option.
He's sleeping.
Could be.
Well, since I have one that I got a thought on.
All right, let's do it. What do you got?
Since I'm on the astral plane usually, and I'm looking at the 64 list instead of the 96 list. So there's a planar travel one, and I'm looking if there's anybody who would want to be the first person I met on the other side of the plane, since I had to travel between planes. Very easy to do.
I don't know
think
if that
it
would
should
be good
Chris.
for me.
Just because of Chris's kind of like personality, I think it would be hilarious if that's the first person you met in on the material plane was you met Chris's paladin. You don't have to, but I think that's funny.
All right.
I mean, that is a good one.
Do we do fixed or manual HP? Wondered.
I did fixed.
Fixed. Okay.
Fix just means you take the average level up.
Yeah,
You don't.
I just didn't know if we had a thing that we do.
So when we first started, I love the idea of rolling for HP, so we can go back and change it if you want, and you can also modify it. But some people were like, I don't want to roll for HP. That's stupid. I just want the average. So
Okay.
when level ups happen, if you want to do it, just let me know you're doing
Switch
it,
it.
and we can do it that
Okay.
way.
Got it.
I like doing that. I think it's fun. unless you roll a 1 and you're like, God damn it. So yeah.
And do you do it that you can re-roll 1 if you're rolling for HP, or no? That's it. If you roll a 1, you keep it.
Well, actually, if you're gonna roll, I found out about a system that I really like, and that is you roll and I roll, and you get the higher, unless we tie, and then you roll and you have to take whatever you get.
Oh.
So it gives
I don't
you a
like
chance
that
to get a
part.
higher one.
See,
Like a
because
dice?
I was there when that podcast, and when they tied, I was just like, oh, that sounds awesome. Though, like tie is just like, all right, cool, we both got 7,
Dubs.
or shit, we both got a 1.
Well,
Now you're taking
so-
a 1.
No. On a tie, it's a reroll, but whatever that person rolls at that point, that's what they get. So
Yeah.
So Kevin, if you and I rolled a 7, we both got a 7. That other
Right.
person has to roll it again. That's it.
Right.
But if I rolled a 7 and you rolled a 1, you get a 7 on that first roll. That's
Right.
That's how that works.
I like that part, but more of that and not the tie part. That's the only part where, it's fine, because like I said, it can work both ways. 1 and 1, now you roll an 8. It's like, oh, whoa. Okay, so I didn't do anything. So if anyone else,
That might have
All right,
been.
wait. So,
yeah, I got.
wait,
I got
just to
the
clarify, Eric was cool with saying that he met
Chris
Kane
first.
when he first showed up. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's,
Okay.
I just filled out the rest of these. Chris, are you still here?
I think we lost Chris. So
Okay. I was
Did-
thinking.
Did we do? I'm sorry. Did we do? So we got TJ, you went. Dolan, Eric went. Dolan went. Nim. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Eric
so
went
yes,
twice.
I had, sorry. Yeah.
No, I only went once.
No, I know,
Oh.
but we're skipping by Chris at this point.
Yeah.
So if TJ has stuff to throw out, then
I was thinking, yeah, because I just went through this quick. So, Eric, I was thinking, I had a question for you more, because you said that you spend more time on the astral plane.
Yep.
How long have you been stuck on this plane? I know that elves live for a long time. And would you have studied magic at all, being a bard? Like go to a bard college or something?
Yes, I did. I mean, I went to 3 of the Bard colleges so far, so I've been moving up slowly in the colleges. But
I was
yes,
thinking it would make sense if we met through the study of magic.
okay,
That one of the schools that we were going to study, we met through that, so we were friends from school, kind of
Okay.
thing, where we might have gone on adventures or helped each other learn certain spells to the point where we are now. And then what I was thinking for Chris is that I think he might have, his character would have, when I was searching for answers on why I'm tied to shadow magic, I was looking for different answers, and I heard rumors of celestials that might know, and I found a celestial, and I'm like, what can you tell me about my relation to Shadowfell? And I guess I'll talk about that with him when next time.
yeah, I like the idea, but I also like the idea that Chris's character just goes, I don't know anything about that. But for some reason, you appreciated his honesty, and that's what developed your friendship.
That's part of the fun of this, is the irrational options, or like, the loves that aren't returned, or I believe you're part of a prophecy, and you're like, dude, what is going on? And then you work it out from there. It doesn't need to be, as long as the other player is cool with it. The relationship between the characters, that doesn't need to actually make sense or go both ways. It could just be one side. Like, I could be like, oh, as part of the prophecy, and then she'll be like, no, So it can work out that way. I believe he has some information that I need, so I'm constantly like, somebody know about Shadowfell? And he's like, dude, for the 8th time,
I know zero about this. Yeah,
I'm not
I
from
actually think
there.
that's really funny.
The tattoo was just something that looked cool.
I will never drop it. So that's what I was kind of thinking. I took notes on my relation with each character, and
All right,
Okay.
Eric, romance.
Oh gosh,
Hold on one second. Are we level 3 or 4?
4.
4.
Okay. Thank you.
That's what we're doing right now.
Yes.
I'm putting that on you.
All right.
I mean, you don't
Fine.
have to. You don't have to. Again, it can just be.
Well, what if Nim just like thinks?
What if it's
What if
it's a
Nim thinks that
romance?
both Morik and Sovinus are dope, and she's like,
Oh yeah.
look at that.
what if it's a
Right?
romance? Does it have to be a romance?
Okay, hold on.
Right.
Nim is a female, Sovinus and Morik are males. You know what? Actually, it could be a romance. I'm just
Guys,
saying that if it's
guys
a
and girls
female
have to
male,
bang.
They don't
That's
have to bang.
law.
I'm just thinking that's romance. Romance sounds like two dudes. That's all
No
I'm saying.
friend.
If it's a female.
Okay.
Does Nim identify as a male?
So, like,
or
if you
as
were
a-
friends with Mike
No.
Rowe, you would totally be infatuated with him.
Mike
No,
Mike
no,
Rowe.
wait.
No.
There you go.
Wait. I have a very
No?
specific response to this. No. But I would
Oh.
close my eyes and want him to tell me
Really?
stories at night. Yes.
Every story.
But I'm saying that's a romance.
Right.
That's okay. All right, that's fair.
It's your man crush. Yeah.
There was
Just
so,
for that one aspect. That's
I
fine. You
used
don't
to have to travel. I used to have to travel down to Georgia a lot for some aspects of my work, and there was this guy down there, and his name was Dominique Shaw. Dominique Shaw was this sort of like 5'10", bald, big shaved
15,
black
20.
man that only wore dark suits with crazy colored ties, and his voice sounded like satin covered in honey. And I would
Wow.
sit in rooms and listen to this dude talk and just go, that's the best voice I've ever heard in my life. That is literally the best voice I've ever heard in my life.
Tom just
So-
goes, and they expect me to take notes. These idiots.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna listen. That's all that's happening right
I'm lost
now.
today.
Also,
Once again.
like the only thing I can compare it to is this: is if you were in a room and James Earl Jones was speaking, you'd be like, I don't know what he's saying, but I'm gonna listen to this. Just how this is gonna happen. And the only other aspect was
My mind would just go,
no one should ever wear black suits in Georgia at any
Right.
point because Georgia sucks and it's too hot. But this guy wore black suits and with like dark colored shirts and never sweat. Like he just never
Wow.
sweated. He was just like it was like this dude was a human air conditioner. I'm like, this man is magic. That's what that is. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right. So
So what did we
I
decide?
don't. If you.
If you wanna, I wanna. I mean, whatever.
Oh, you know what? No, I like this one. They're somehow tied to it
Already
into it
got
all.
denied.
Right.
Which one is it?
you
Hey, you should.
you got denied on what was
No.
what was
choose,
Good idea.
you should
What
choose a
happened?
relationship. Wink, wink. Oh wait, no. Fuck you.
Yeah. Exactly.
you got denied on the relationship that wasn't your idea.
Fantastic.
Oh my
I didn't even know that this could be a thing, and yet now I'm hurt. What the fuck just happened?
why do I hurt on my chest? It hurts.
I never decided to even get into this. But they're somehow tied into it all. You've been keeping an eye on them.
Wait, an eye on what?
Eric,
All right.
on which one? Sovinus.
Pretty sure that's conspiracy theory one.
I'm pretty
Somehow
sure I
tied
didn't
to it.
ask.
Okay,
It's
I'm gonna share what I just wrote. I have Kevin, Eric, romance or super sus? Question.
That sounds about right.
I mean, that's the shit that makes people tune back in. That's what that is. They're like, "Ooh, what is this?" I mean, so I think that the party is starting to get some connections. I think we can build more on this. If people want to explore this further or do more of it, I'm cool with that. But I don't want to push this to the point that everyone's like exhausted by it. So, you tell me when you feel like we've kind of achieved, you know, an okay balance with this. Right now, we've got TJ and Kevin have a connection from being saved.
I think I only have a connection with TJ at this point.
Right.
I have a connection with everyone except for it hasn't been confirmed. One pending.
Right.
One will. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So in that case, do you have some other connection that you established right now, Dylan, or I'm sorry, Mel? Mel, that you want to.
Yeah.
He's a dick.
It'd be interesting to establish something with Chris's character just because we happen to both be.
I love the idea that Chris isn't here, so whatever you say goes.
Oh yeah.
Law. The game.
I mean, wait, like within limits. Like if it's something really heinous,
Like
then
I can't rape him against his will.
No. Yeah, actually, how about this? Back in Paladin school, you guys had like one night encounter. You're
totally
still kind of
raped
into him, but you also hate him for it, and that's your relationship.
Just disappointed in it.
I feel like such a slut.
I mean, you guys
Wait,
could
Chris-
just be in a loveless
Chris is
marriage.
drunk and he doesn't remember it at all, but he feels really bad.
A loveless marriage. No.
Mhm.
Okay.
This is maybe one of my favorite things. Thank you, TJ.
Right.
I'm so glad we're doing this.
Like TJ said, this was the fun part.
It was. I think we had like we needed to have 3 session zeros because we just kept going back and forth through this. And
So I
people
can see this.
were-
I can see this doing that. That's what I'm saying. How about this? Everybody has a chance to do. Dolan, you go. Say what you want to say. Say what you want to say, and then we'll kind of move on. But we can build on this. Like we don't have to make everything finite right now, especially with like whether Chris is asleep or smashing his computer or whatever's happening. Like we just go.
I'd say something along the lines of we are siblings. Our parents.
So you and Chris are siblings?
Me and Chris are siblings. Our
No
parents.
wonder your marriage is loveless.
Yeah, right. Either that or extremely passionate.
Right.
And everyone and the whole party's like, don't look, just don't look.
Yeah.
No, we said nothing was off limits except feet, so don't do any creepy shit with each other. Just, just
what?
the incest.
Right.
Under
right.
taboos, I have heritage hate okay, feet not okay. That's all I have listed.
Yeah, we're uncomfortably close with one another. I like that. We'll add that.
This is excellent.
It's fucking done now. So, yeah, like really uncomfortable.
Oh my God.
It makes you guys feel really awkward. And
I have a story to share when you're done, Spoko.
Okay, our parents are dead, and in actuality, he is the prophecy. And I had to swear to my parents that I would, at all costs, protect his life. And TJ's character thinks that I'm the prophecy, and I let him continue to think that because I'm actually protecting Chris's character.
That's cool.
So
I like it.
So
I like this.
that's awesome. So is that kind of changing a little bit of you and TJ in terms of you are accepting him doing it?
Yeah.
So what?
I mean, I can still play like you're crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Like that could be my game, but
This is
I'm still doing things to sort of egg it on as a possibility.
This is usually how it like happens. Is that this is pitched and then another player morphs it a bit. So now, like, the story can evolve over time.
Yeah.
Then, like,
That's the only reason, because it like kind of came up where it's just like, oh, that might be a little bit, where it's like now you are still thinking that she's the prophet, but she's actually like, yep, that's right, just to keep her brother safe, which is awesome.
It works, and this is also the strange thing is, then you look at the relationship that you have with the other character as well and how that morphs. And so I think that Chris has some kind of connection or knowledge that I don't know about, and I think it's about me. But then as this goes on, you're like, whenever he reveals it, I'm like, knew it, whole time. Whenever that might happen, if that happens, but like that's just the dynamic that we have, and then this is something that we can do as a side story throughout,
right?
Different themes, and it will grow until we die.
So
then we have to figure out. I have no idea how this will work.
Right.
If one of us passes, I have no idea. Advantage.
All right. Well, everyone come up with one that this person or something. Jen, do you want to have gone through hell together? Maybe a monster, maybe military service, maybe time in an institution. Whatever it was that bound you together, you have total trust in each other.
Military service.
That's kind of where I was going.
Yeah, I'm a soldier.
Yeah, and I'm not.
I just came down.
So,
were you
maybe
military service?
Jen and I went through military service. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Melchizedek and Nemevra went through military service.
Also,
wait a minute. Does that mean that Mel was part of the Regician Empire as well?
Oh
no.
Shit!
Military service within Gates.
Or maybe you just respect each other's prior military service.
Oh no. Yeah, I would have liked to actually serve. So you were in the Regician military?
You guys,
yeah, I was
on a mission. You could have been a mercenary or something like that.
Yeah,
okay.
It could be something where, like, since we've gotten into Gate Pass, we've had to deal with something, whether it was
Gates Pass originally was held by the Regician military. Like, Cold Tongue gave it up in his peace treaty attempts and made it pay. So we could have been literally in Gates Pass as while in the Regician military, and that wasn't that long ago.
So would you say that you would have been in the Regician military?
Sure, I'm fine with that. As long as I was in the Regician military in Gates Pass.
Well,
yeah.
Remember that Gates Pass has its own military too.
Now it does. But
yeah, so maybe that's what
back,
modified into. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we kind of stayed behind when they pulled out.
Also, Kevin, I have my flaw is I made a terrible mistake in a battle, and it cost many lives. And I'll do anything to keep that mistake secret. So you could also potentially know something about that because we served together.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So that could be and I don't know if that's going to become an adversarial sort of thing because it does say I would do anything to keep that mistake secret.
Right. Right. She's gonna try. Fuck. She's a paladin. Good thing I went with cleric.
Wear that heavy armor, bro.
No, fuck you. I'm getting the heavy armor. I don't want you killing me when you find nothing.
Why do I need why do I need the heavy armor more than you? Oh, because I keep you alive. Your secret. I know your secret.
And more importantly, I can keep myself alive from you.
With items, you said just a common item, not the green item, not uncommon, it's just common.
Just common at this point. Just common.
Yep. Oh wait, what? No, you had said uncommon.
I definitely never said uncommon. I said,
dude, are you seriously gonna say that? Last time
you said like a +1 weapon.
I will pull up the video.
That would be uncommon.
Because I asked about the colors.
First of all,
Instead
you're
of
right, you
green.
did ask. Second of all, I was playing Tinker, so come on.
Right, so
He
green.
gives out
Perfect.
all the items.
My
Yeah.
my
He made, like,
consciousness
8
for
items.
like the reality of the world was very different at that point. I had just cast Lightning Bolt for the first time. This is crazy talk to hold me conscious for any of that. I literally had like my Iron Man reactor kick in for the first time. It was the best, and it was like, oh, and we'll never play this game again. And I'm like, no. So,
All right,
but
so
no,
green.
so I'm serious though. But for right now, a common item. It's not going to be a thing where you can't get access to stuff and things. This is definitely not Rime of the Frost Maidens. You guys are going to get gold. There's going to be downtime. You're going to be able to purchase stuff. It just, excuse me, it just may not be like regularly, but you will have plenty of time to do these things. In fact, as we play through this first like part of the adventure, there's several moments that depending on choices made and what you decide to do, it's almost silly. Like it's almost like I started to try to read everything, and I was like, I'm gonna read one adventure at a time, and then we're just gonna deal with this and go from there, unless somebody gives me like a far-reaching thing, and then that's what we're because there's a lot, and I love it. I think it's great. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But I just for right now, especially if you guys are as 4th level characters for right now, a common item, please. Now, if you can find an uncommon item that is 100 gold, or you can find an uncommon item that you want to convince a fellow party member to give you money to buy and say you start with, okay, let's do that. But it probably is not the case. So for now, temper your purchases.
I shall remove my DOS loot then.
I'm sorry, you're going to remove your gauntlets of what?
My DOS loot.
What is it? So it just makes me think of like Das Boot from...
It's... the DOS loot is given to the graduates of the DOS College of... DOS Bard College. And it gives certain... It has, a certain number of charges and allows for certain spells to be cast using
okay, so
those
then,
charges.
wait. Because this is part of your backstory, and I don't want to... I would say you have this, but you don't have a common item as well. And you may not have a chance to grab something as you move.
Oh, I don't... The only thing I have is a rapier and leather armor right now.
So, so what I'm saying is, keep the DOS loot.
Yep.
Have that, and then
Okay.
when the next time there's like an item grab or an upgrade or whatever,
I will not...
we'll revisit. But you
Yeah.
have your DOS loot. So
Yep, perfect. Love.
There's a couple cool, common, wondrous items. That's pretty good.
there are some fun ones that you can find for sure. That
There's
like,
a lot
just-
that are just like flavor. Like, you have a helmet that makes your eyes glow, and then there's other ones that
Right.
are like... I just found one that's mage armor. You have like a pen that just enables mage armor, so that helps me get a spell slot. So that's pretty cool.
I would also
Shit.
say that if you have a helmet that makes your eyes glow and you're making an intimidation check for changing, like when talking it out with an enemy, that might be extremely helpful. Like especially for a charisma-based class. So maybe that's something that you want. Like sure you're a celestial, but maybe you're a fiery celestial or something like that.
And you're saying we just get this common item, we're not purchasing it, correct?
Correct.
Mhm.
You have it. You just have it.
Oh, Jen, do you want me to have a blood debt to you for saving my life at some point?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Perfect. Easy
I don't want to
enough.
save your
The fact
life.
that she's going to claim your blood at some point.
Yeah. The fucking elf owes me or whatever. Shut up.
I
At
don't
some
want
point,
to
I'm
have
just
saved
gonna
your
eat
life.
him and not die. That's how this works.
I don't want to have saved your life. Can I have saved like somebody who was really important to you, like a lover or like a child or something like that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No. You saved his loot. You saved his loot.
Right. It was
Love
rolling.
loot.
Right.
I'm thinking like Indiana Jones Last Crusade. Like the chalice is rolling towards the chasm as it opens, and you just like you use your Asimar wings or your flight speed or something, and you just grab it right as it's about to fall in, and you give it back to him, and he's like, oh, I owe you everything.
Yes. Yes. And I will take it.
I'm not gonna lie. This is what I just wrote. My fucking notes, you guys. There's so much of this. I have. Oh my god! I got to draw a line. I'm sorry. It says Eric Dolan saved loot, favor owed.
Some blood debt were the word.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Blood debt.
You can still
Debit.
write
Rainbow. And I drew a little. You know what? I drew a little rainbow next to it too. All right, there you go.
Perfect.
All right. So, as we do this, and as we encroach at 11:25, I want to read more to you about this world that you guys are like trunching through in your snow boots and whatnot. Are you okay to take a brief pause in your relationship quest? Hear more.
Oh, I thought we got quiet because you were about to.
Mm-hmm.
Go, go, go.
It was a delayed pause. I wanted to see if people were like,
It was.
No, I need to talk more. So, as you progress through this,
One thing I just wanted to.
Go on.
No, that was it. I was just fucking with you. Go.
Ah! And then I just delete everything. You're all done. This campaign's over. No, anyways. All right, so as you stamp, whatever, through the snow, you come upon the Poison Apple Pub. The pub is a 2-story building attached by a rooftop bridge to a neighboring house. This is common throughout this area of Gate Pass, as houses are on upper levels always connected to other houses, just in case the snow gets too deep. The lower doors and windows are boarded up, curtains drawn. Though to some of you, you can see a faint light seen between the curtains and the slats, the drapes. But a notice has been posted on the door, and the notice on the door says, Treehan Finner, owner of the Poison Apple Pub, has been taken into temporary custody under the protection of the city guard, until such time as he can be questioned by representatives of the Regician Empire and found innocent of hostile collusion.
What the fuck?
The Poison Apple Pub is hereby closed until further notice.
Ugh. It's my favorite one-star joint.
Some of you have
Rank 1 star.
rank 1 star.
Not
Some of you who have a
not
memory
1 star.
longer than should I say Mel or should I say Dolan? Is that you were told how to approach this place. However,
I was told how to what?
What? No, I'm sorry, Dolan. Whatever. What?
Approach this place, he had said, and then not said.
And then turned into Tinker. Got it.
Right.
You want him to show up? He can show right up. Anyways,
Tinker
there-
this?
There was actually a kid at like the public place who like was very into like his character. It was a dragon character, a dragonborn that he loved. And one time when it was his turn to DM, he saw the fight was going bad, and he had his character show up to fight the thing off. And it's like, this is terrible. Just a real life situation of what actually just, jokingly happened right there.
This is terrible.
Yes, it hurt. I'm still scarred.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring everybody to a map so you can start to see what we're looking at. Now, depending upon what we want to get into tonight, we're gonna do, that's fine. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you where we're at. So and of course, they didn't put these in alphabetical order. That's awesome. Actually, the first thing I want to do is this. Stop.
Oh, holy shit.
I want to do this. I want to show you guys a map of Gate Pass so that you have an idea of where you're at. All right, can everybody see the map?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So Poison Apple Pub is right here. That's basically the section that you're in. The whole city is almost like a series of locks, right? Like, so if this was the Panama Canal,
yes,
there's these gates that lead to each level, and that is the same that is happening here, right? So you guys are 3 gates back from the opening that leads to Regesia, but also on the right-hand side you see that the Sholesti opening to like where the elves live is there. I do want to clarify something really fast, just so people know. So the little square things that you see, like here, here, and here, are openings from sewage systems, but those sewage systems lead straight down into the mountains. The effectively there is a sewage system that's set up, but it doesn't lead out of the mountains. It just leads deeper and deeper into it. You might say it probably drops shit into the Underdark. That's probably the best way to. But I wanted you guys to see what the kind of layout of Gate Pass looked like. As you guys approach the Poison Apple Pub, which I can also show you.
I'm sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
Down here, it's not that these are watch posts? Or are they in addition to?
They are in addition to. I'm sorry. They're kind of representative of both at this point. On the surface, that's what they are, but they also represent points where there are kind of storage locations that lead
waste.
down.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Waste disposal units.
Well, you're a soldier. You got to poop. Now you got to poop right there.
Got to put it somewhere. That thing's awesome.
None of this is labeled alphabetically. This is stupid. Oh my god. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Nope, it's not. Dude.
Mo Ruck.
Mo
About me?
Ruck. Black Moon.
I do like it. I do like what you're bringing into the. You're bringing into the scenario here with that. Has anybody ever read any Dragonlance books before? Chris and I have, but like, has anybody else?
No. Not Dragonlance.
So Dragonlance has some pretty cool stuff, including they have a whole like Season of the Dragon series with dragon, like Season of the Dragon Summer, Dragons Autumn, Winter, etc. That tells like this whole epic saga in the world of Dragonlance, which is pretty cool. But they also have these books based around this human knight called Human the Brave, and his maybe not the best squire / becomes his replacement, named Kaz, K-A-Z, Kaz the Minotaur, and they are some of the best fantasy literature I've ever read. They just are great. Like, if you ever want to if you ever want like a great recommendation for a fantasy series, the Human the Brave stuff and Kaz the Minotaur stuff by far. It's fantastic.
All right, cool. I'll have to.
Okay.
I'll probably get through all the Dritz stuff and then move that way.
If you enjoy reading that, you will enjoy reading Huma and
That's
Kaz.
kind of what I was figuring when you were saying it like that, and it's like, all right, sure. Yeah, well.
When actually,
Different
like when
places.
I read Kaz, probably during that point, and it was a lot. All right, so I apologize, everybody. There's a bunch of stuff going on the map that I have to go back and try to figure out why everything's happening with the map as such. So everybody get me their character tokens, and I will work on that. But for the time being, you guys come to the outside of Poison Apple, and you have been told, excuse me, that you should enter through the side alley to avoid being seen, as the owner of this location has made this available to you, but at great potential cost to herself, as her husband, Trahan Finner, the owner, has recently been taken in to, as previously said, temporary custody. Do you guys approach the side door? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that it's only temporary custody, so he'll be back,
Well, they call it TC. Yeah, you know.
right? That's what the temporary stands for.
That's what it is.
I mean, I suppose so, yeah. See no reason why not.
As you approach the side door, is the first amongst you to approach the door.
Who's one of the talkers?
That would be our bard.
Probably me.
Right? We have
Yeah.
plenty
Yeah.
of options, but yeah.
Yep.
I like to think that your bard has not stopped
We-
talking. He's just
Yes,
in the back
I have
himself.
continuously talked.
Actually,
Stream of conscience.
Once-
Just go.
I mean, we've got two paladins, a sorcerer, a third of a sorcerer, and a bard. TJ, what are your stats? Like, is charisma high or is it more int?
18 intelligence, 18 charisma.
Oh,
that's
I
double
rolled-
18s?
I rolled
Holy
really.
sh! Well,
I rolled
I
really
have.
well.
Is your strength like a 6 though, just in case?
It's It's an 11, and then my wisdom is 8. It's an 8.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
But
I want to
my
make
con and
make
dex
sure
are
you're the
16.
one that makes the
So-
choices, the rational, like right or left choices. But okay.
I mean,
So-
to be fair, I have two 18s as well. I mean, after
What are-
everything was said and done.
What are your 18s in?
Constitution and wisdom.
That's it's, for a cleric. That's amazing. All right.
Right.
So okay.
Well,
so
those are the ones you
basically,
focus.
I apologize. Like I can't share this map right now because there's a bunch of shit going on, and I don't. Like, I gotta wait. But, you come upon this map. You come upon this place, and you come up to this door. You realize that the door is locked, and there's a couple. I mean, what do you want to do? That the door is locked. You were told to meet here. The curtains are all drawn, but it does look like there's some light coming from inside. What do you guys want to do?
I think we start by knocking and then trying to get in. I guess.
There is a
That was
part of
last
me-
year's password.
Which remove.
What is the
Never
password? I do imagine that as this astral elf walks up, he's like, I imagine what we have to do is knock. So what we'll do is knock, and then I'll knock, and we'll see what happens. And then you knock. You just describe it before you do it. And as you knock on the door, there's a slight pause, and then the door. You hear the door like open, and
Sounds good.
as it opens, I want to show you the person that you see inside. But that requires me to find some art. And unlike Frost Maiden, this bullshit is everywhere. Also, Kevin, did you have a chance to ask about or send a message to the folks about Adventure 11? We're not there yet, but just in case.
No, but I have to. Do you remember what is Chapter 11 called? You know what?
Bankruptcy?
You tell you work for
Nice.
a bank.
Right? Fucking credit card nerd. Alright, Under the Eye of the Tempest. Okay, I'll look real quick.
And this is the person that you see. Tall and strong, a typical warrior, Torrent is a distinctive looking woman with tan skin and short white hair. Under a dark winter coat, she wears a breastplate decorated with blue, wave-like etchings, and a holy symbol to a sea god that seems to resemble a great 8-limbed sea beast. Her
No.
demeanor is
So she's
smooth but
Kraken.
forceful, like an ocean wave.
Wow.
And as she opens it up, as the door opens and you see her, she says, "Thanks for coming. By the way, I ran this voice by my daughter, and she was like, 'No, Dad, you have to get this right.' And so this is what I've.
Good.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thank you, Tarn.
Shut up. Let me do this. Don't. Fuck
I
with me.
know.
All right. Thanks for coming." She says, "Have a drink. Just because we're bound to go to war, doesn't mean we can't celebrate the new year." The darkened pub is. I'm sorry. The darkened pub is mostly empty now. Its many tables and chairs pushed to one wall, covered with sheets. However, a single table sits in the middle of the room, with enough chairs for all of you. A small oil lamp and a keg sits on top of it, along with several mugs. At the back corner of the common room, besides the bar, a staircase leads upstairs. The windows and door facing onto the street are closed, and you know that they have been boarded up from the outside. On the wall behind the bar hangs a bronze bust of the former emperor of Regisseria, Dracus Coldtongue, a regal, aged half-orc. It's a half-orc, not a full-orc, half-orc, with a scar cutting diagonally across his face. You, meaning the party, and Torrent, are the only people in the room. As you look around, and you guys can look around and figure out what's going on, the door closes behind you, cutting off the cold, sort of stifling breeze. Torrent introduces herself. She tries to be friendly before getting to business, all the while saying, might as well have a beer. What do you guys want to do?
Might as well have a beer. So I mean, I'm drinking.
I'll read
I mean,
my
I just
book.
literally took a drink, so okay, sure. Cheers.
Cheers.
Like everybody else is just standing like just outside of the door after it closed and hit you in the ass, and we're like, "Let's
No,
do it here."
I'm
I know we're not in
Having
this.
a
sitting
beer.
at the table,
I
but I
mean,
do
you
find it a little
okay,
odd to.
Here are some options. You can be super cautious and try to listen, explore everything, or do whatever, or you just go sit and have a beer. It's up to you. Torrent has walked over, poured herself a beer.
We've all
I would
Anybody
like to
ever
make a
remembers,
perception
Heineken
check.
Mini keg? That's what she does. Takes a sip.
I don't trust her.
You literally were told as members of the resistance to come meet Torrent. All right, fair enough.
Well, I'm whatever. I'm still cautious.
So I,
You know what? How about this? Give me an investigation check.
I'm only kidding. I'm drinking. I'm sitting at
You're
the table.
drinking.
Like
Anybody
I'm.
else?
I
Is
will
anyone
sit at
else
the
losing
table.
their shit right now, or is everybody going to have a beer?
I don't think any of us are losing our shit right now.
Correct.
Yeah,
Has
people
anyone,
are just
wait,
standing
just
a
to be
little bit.
clear, has anyone found their shit? Just asking. Just asking.
Yeah. Shit's
I
done.
wasn't looking.
Just out.
I'm not
Who
giving
comes
you a
up behind, they
perception
don't
check
look
for
behind.
that.
So, all right. So, Torrent, this white-haired woman, grimaces and straightens in her chair, saying, "Actually, you know what? Everybody, give me a perception check. I think this is a good point. Everyone, give me a perception check."
Is it to find the shit? Then no.
Holy shit, Nim! How was that even possible? That's
No,
wow.
That was earlier. That was insight. That was a 19.
Okay.
The perception
all right.
wasn't good.
But even still, 25. Wow. All right.
19 on it.
We're gonna-
You know, like I
all right.
said, my wisdom's high.
Everybody
roll
who hit
wasn't.
15, everybody who hit a 15 or higher, which is everybody except Nim and,
Oh.
and
Morik.
Black Moon. You guys are too focused on the sounds in the that you hear around you. The bells that are typical of the celebration of the holiday that is happening or should be happening right about now. The bells toll to ring in the end of the winter and to celebrate the beginning of this of like the spring, the resurgence, the renewal of life, and unfortunately they sound kind of dull this year as that's happening. And as you pick up on this, and others of you just sipping your drinks, thinking of your own sort of malconstructions and whatnot, Torin grimaces and straightens in her chair and says, she raises her mug. She says, "Another year gone. I guess it's time to go down to business." This the city is in trouble. The Regisarian army is marching on us. We'll be here potentially by tomorrow. But before then, we have a mission. I used to study at a magic academy to the south called the Lyceum. The Lyceum is full of good people. So when word reached them about Regicea's Scourge. And if anybody wants to roll a check, you can roll a check on that. I'll tell you what.
What type of check do you want us to roll on that one?
I want you to shut up while I do this.
I've got
No,
a +6 in
no.
animal. I have a +6 in animal handling. So does that work?
No. What you can do is you can. Yeah, you can roll an intelligence check. Anybody can roll an intelligence check.
All right, DJ, go.
Okay. Fire smart.
Oh shit. Oh, I'm still just rolling 3s after all my jokey rolls that were
Gus,
good.
when did you get here?
Just 3s. Oh, I'm sorry, Harbor.
Yeah.
I think that it's almost telling that Nim, you rolled as high as that you did, and you know that the Scourge is an aspect of the Regicerian army that seeks to find spellcasters and make sure that they are one of two things: either A, allies
Dead.
to the Regicerians, or
Oh.
B, dead.
Okay, I did remember. I did know that one.
Yes, I felt that you did, but I just wanted to make sure. But the word about this sort of tactic has reached other people, including this Lyceum. And they are saying that anyone seeking to escape the Scourge can find safe harbor in their halls. And if anybody wants to roll a check on the Lyceum, you can do that. Hold on. It will either be Arcana or History, and for this particular check, because we have two, we'll say spellcastery people, I will give advantage to both Eric and TJ on this. But it is either an Arcana or a History. Tell me what you have.
I was gonna do Arcana.
There you go.
Okay, so what I'll tell you, Morok, first, is that the Lyceum is a school devoted to teaching magic of all sorts, and it is located in the small town of Sequin on the rocky tip
Oh yeah, that one. Sorry.
on a marshy peninsula in southern Dassen. Students often travel far to learn magic. The head of the Lyceum is a diviner named Simeon. He has visited all of the major cities in the region, and his friends and contacts among the mages of those cities. He has founded his school to encourage solidarity among magic users and finds ways to use magic for the benefit of everyday people. Many governments think of him as a meddler, including the Regicerian. Now, what you know, Sylvanus, is that Simeon, primarily as an advisor for nobles and rich merchants, has recruited a cadre of talented mages and battle clerics, and has often sequenced Harbor as a home port for the wayfarers, for magically inclined entertainers, to both make his school seem more legitimate and to discourage Dassen from trying to give him taxes. Additionally, many years ago, an archmage was, I can't believe I'm giving this to you, but you rolled high enough for an archmage was slain at the site where the Lyceum now stands, and rumors say he was entombed beneath the school in the caverns that are filled with fire.
Holy shit.
Yeah, how the fuck didn't anybody take fire as a domain, you dipshits? But anyways, all right.
I have protection from fire.
But
Wait, fire as a domain. What? What does that mean?
isn't it flame? Well, for clerics, isn't flame a domain thing?
Okay, so one person had the opportunity to, and I went
First
with
of all,
something else, and I don't think
I was
so.
trying to like
Maybe?
give you a pass and say many people could have, and then you just called it to yourself. So, moving on. Anyways,
Well, yeah, well,
uh,
you said a specifically cleric thing. So fuck you, Tom. All right, here we go.
A little less Tinker, a little more J4.
wait a minute, hold on. Dude, these good people.
That was
So when
awesome.
word reached them about, anyways, Torrent it says, I used to study at a magic academy to the south called Lyceum. They're good people. So when word reached them about Regicia's scourge, they sent out messages calling for anyone fleeing Regicia to come to them. They want to stand against the Regicians, and the resistance wants their help. We just need to get a message to them. Normally, we would have sent something by teleporting courier. Something strange is going on with planar magic.
Yeah.
The last courier who teleported into Gate Pass, well, the rumor is that they showed up burnt to a crisp. Not that I have that sort of magic anyways, but if we're going to talk to the Lyceum, we're going to have to go overland, and that's a problem, because the city walls, well, they're all sealed. Ever since the Emperor died, and he looks towards Mel and says, I know. Theoretically died. The Regisirians have been trying to show that they're not weak, and they're marching an army in our direction. Since the mountain pass we're in is apparently strategically valuable, either way, a few idiots on the city council want to negotiate with them, and rumor is they're going to invite a group of the Inquisitors, at which point she kind of like dallies towards Nim, but comes back into the city to look for magic users who are hostile to the Empire. They've sealed the gates of the city so no one can get out to make sure that they look like they're cooperating, and only military personnel can get in or out. She looks at all of you at the same point with this and says, have to get out of the city. And I'm open to suggestions as to how. But once we're out, I can get us to safety at the Lyceum. But before we get ahead of ourselves, there's something we have to do first. She takes a deep breath, reaches over, takes a sip of her drink. The short version is, we've got to meet a contact. A gnome named Rivereye Badgerface. There's a guarded depository about a half a mile from here. Actually, I'm going to just do something real fast because I think everybody's on the map to see this. So, no, stop. Please stop. Do this. Go up. God, come on. I apologize, everybody. I need a new mouse. I know I need a new mouse. Come on.
No problem. Just there is no fire domain. There's like a forge domain, but I already took that as a cleric before, so I wanted to try something new. Dipshit.
I'm hurt. I'm gonna go to bed crying tonight. You're such a
Good.
dick.
That's the goal.
Okay. So. So you guys are right here. The place that she's indicating that you go to is right here. Does it make sense? Does that work? Is everyone on this map?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Yep.
cool. All right. So
A to
about
B.
an hour away at a guarded depository at a half... this River Eye is carrying a case of vital military intelligence which he stole from the Regisarian palace, and the heads of the resistance think that it needs to reach the Lyceum. We've got to get that case, get out of the city, and get away from here before the idiot city council lets the Regisarians inquisitors in. Again, Nim, your like hackles almost bristle as you hear this. Because once that happens, Torrent continues, the odds of us escaping are. She takes a long sip off the beer mug and goes, yes, slim. Takes a breath and says, I know I'd love to stay here and fight against the Regisarians, but I'm no soldier, and this mission might be more important. Worst case, you get away from the Regisarians. We can part ways a few days down the road. Best case, you can come with me to Lyceum, and we can come back with an army of our own to drive these goddamn Regisarians away. We gotta act fast. Are you guys ready for this? As the DM stops to take a sip.
Hell yeah, brother.
Whole party like just
How do we get through that gate though?
she goes.
The fourth gate.
She goes. Well, this is what I know. The walls of the city are patrolled, and the gates are closed and guarded, except to official city personnel and a few diplomats. Simply walking out it's impossible. And sneaking out will be equally problematic. However, there is one city councilman, Erden Minash. He's sympathetic to folks like us, heroes, adventurers, etc. I've never met him, but I know where he lives, and his house. Well, his house is impossible in this. The only other thing that we might be able to do, though, is we might be able to convince somebody at the mage school, Gobels, to maybe lend their magic to our escape. But it's slim, and it's a possibility. But maybe we can do it. I don't know. What I do know is the number one thing that we need to do is this: we need to go and collect this document, this whatever information River Eye has brought, and I just hope that you're ready for this, because it could get rocky.
That's what we signed up for.
I will say that my plan once we get out of the city, I think is going to work a lot better. But in the city, it's rocky at best. We need to get that tube. We need to collect that intelligence, and then we need to figure out how we're going to get the hell out of here. But once we get out, just hear me out before you say anything else. My plan is that we'll take a very, very different road, which is called the Inatonar Fire Forest Road. It's within 30 miles of the city, and decades ago, this elf road ran through the fire forest right to Dason, which is where the Lyceum is. But during the last war, Empire be praised, this entire forest was set on fire, and it has not stopped burning until now. However, I don't want you. I don't want you to be concerned, as I have several mechanisms that can help us take care of this.
Okay.
She
So
produces like a satchel that has a series of like vials in it, and you don't have to make checks. She explains that these are vials of fire resistance that will, when imbued, like taken, drunk, um, they will provide 8 to 10 hours of resistance against the flames from the forest. And she has several vials for each of you, as well as a few more in kind of like expectation of problems, etc., that might happen. So that is our plan.
Okay, so it sounds like the only option we have, unless maybe like we have a wizard thing that might be able to get us past the walls, or bards, some sort, one of your spell things. I know you guys have all sorts of mystical stuff. If you guys aren't able to provide us with some sort of way past the walls, then I think we have to speak to the counselor.
Well, I can use fly.
I think that will be inconspicuous enough.
We have third level.
No, with DOS loot, I have access to that.
Huh?
Tom takes it away again.
I also have levitate as well.
No, I'm not taking any of it away. I mean, do what you want. Do what you want. I'll kill you one way or another, but sure. All right.
Under the cover of nightfall, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And float up or fly and see how that goes.
I can cast 7 charges of it, so
You have to concentrate on how many creatures can you cast by at once.
1 at a time.
Get the strongest one.
But if someone were to go up a wall with a rope, we could probably...
Make it dangerous. I hear you.
Like, all I'm thinking is either it takes so long to fly up and over the gate that it's like morning when we're finally finishing up and getting over there, or we start to do it and Eric's trying to get through it quick, so it's like we fly over 5 minutes, we get over the wall, and then he just shuts it off. It's like, all right, next. Meanwhile, you're like 70 feet in the air and you drop down to your death.
Well, my thought was I have minor illusion as well, so casting
Concentrating though, right?
fly,
Or different
just
items.
casting the fly to begin with, and then once you get someone to throw a rope over so you can climb, casting a minor illusion so that then it doesn't actually look like anything's happening. I guess. Great.
I mean,
I
I assume they'll have people on the wall
can do it.
with
but-
dark vision is my concern.
I mean, I have dark vision, so it doesn't matter to me.
No, I'm talking about people on the wall who are patrolling. You know, just in terms of how thick are the walls? Like the gate walls.
Oh no! Everybody, stop talking.
Oh well, how thick are the gate walls, Tom?
So the gate walls are actually, I have the stats. Actually, they are in the second. So I gotta go back to this. Sorry, give me 1 sec as I take all this out. That's not it. This is it. So, all right. So let's just say the gate walls are very thick with regards to, like, are you talking about breaking through them? What's
No.
the question?
Potential teleporting.
Well, so teleporting is going to bring in the problems
The
that
burning.
are part of teleporting.
Absolutely.
Fire.
But if it gets us through, it
Well,
it solves one problem while bringing in another.
it's fair.
But-
So listen.
But if the walls are 100 feet thick, then it's like, all right, never mind.
Okay,
I don't
so
know if we even have
the
that.
walls are not 100 feet thick. Oh, man, come on. I apologize. I wish I had had this ready to go because I read through this.
And I'm honestly not even sure because I'm thinking of this, but most teleportation you have to be able to see, right?
No,
I mean, I don't even know what.
Teleportation itself. It depends on familiarity
Varies all over.
with the area.
But that's me saying that as though I know anyone has a teleport that can deal with this.
So
I mean,
what I'm going
technically
to
I
say
have
is
something
this: is
as
I'm
well.
going to put down as far as a note for next week. So that as we start with this, we're going to have teleport.
Because I know we have at least 3 people who are bad at sneaking around, possibly 5.
I also have Starlight Step as well for teleport.
So here's the thing: teleportation is going to burn. It's going to burn
Yes.
you big time.
Well, that's why I'm going to use
Well-
protection from energy on that I have for fire.
But I think that gives you that protection. But
Correct.
if you bring anybody else, they get burned as well. So
It's
Well, I don't
only
think
one.
I can bring anything else.
It's only 1d6 per 100 feet, right? If I remember correctly, I know it's in the notes. Where is it? Stand the heat? No.
what you know is that teleporters coming into Gate Pass have been charred. And so teleportation magic is concerning
Yes.
because it could be bad. It could be really bad. So however,
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we have for thoughts. I know sneaking isn't really an option for already most of us. I don't know if...
so Torrent will say, well, came here through the snow. Don't you think we might be able to just pass in a similar fashion to the next place and see if we can't get this information, this intelligence on and move from there?
Yeah, but like you said, through the snow? Like, what is it you're suggesting? Forgive me, my wisdom is high, not my intelligence.
Oh, so there are gates between each section, but the gates
Yes.
that are sealed are only the gates here
Oh, they're only the end?
and the gates.
Oh, then we just
here.
walk. Oh, fuck, who
Yeah.
cares? Walk.
They're like portcullises. It's just that like
Yeah, no, I know. I just thought everything was already closed, but no.
No,
if
no,
it's just open, then we just go there. Yeah.
So, like this is open, but it's like a big portcullis that you got to walk through.
Yeah.
The idea is
Yeah, that's
each
fine as long as
section
it's
could
an
be shut
open
down if-
portcullis.
That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Then yes, we walk there.
Okay. She goes, all right, well, as long as that's fine. I guess cheers to the New Year's, and also cheers to the future. May it be
Cheers.
not just what the Registerians what we all need.
Cheers.
I'd like everyone to give me, because we're almost done with this to a point that I'll put. I'd like everyone to give me a perception check. Holy shit. Okay. Can somebody just roll, Chris?
Maybe not. I don't think he put it in there
If
yet.
we can't, just roll a d20. Tell me what you get. It'll pop up.
Oh, no, he missed.
So everybody
That checks
except
out.
Chris. Which again makes the whole like Chris is the chosen child and Dolan's character is like, oh, I support him. It's me. Makes way more sense. Everybody hears that the doling and the ringing of the bells stops. Like ding 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 dong ding ding dong. Stop.
So abruptly?
Like almost like I don't know if anybody's ever listened to church bells, but there's a point when the bells stop tolling and there's like a few further rings and then there's silence, and that's what you're suddenly aware of. But you also, as the bells stop ringing, hear above you the sounds of what might be footprints walking on the floor above you. Remember, there is a set of stairs leading up. And as you start to hear that and go, what? In the distance, you hear the muted sound of these thumps that start filling the air more. And as they get closer, rather than just, it starts to sound more and more like the sound of ripe fruit landing of a house. I think this is a perfect spot to stop and pick this up next week. From there. Welcome to For the Burning Sky, session 0.5.
Nice.
You're not dead yet.
Well, we barely had the chance.
Good. I did my job.
Yes?
But yeah, so good stuff. Remember, homework assignments in Discord. If you can get me an image of your character, that's 1. 2, think about backgrounds. 3, think about secrets. 4, relationships, if they haven't been established, think about those. And then 4, if anybody wants to use a gate pass connection as part of their overarching stuff and things, let me know, because
Yes.
that may give you stuff and things if you want.
Blessed by Dreams.
That's what you're grabbing.
Yes.
Is there a blessing? Sorry, I missed that part.
So in the connections to Gate Pass in the player guide on it starts on page 6. There are different like connections and groups and different stuff. Some of them have certain things, some of them don't. When I was looking through it for the wizard, nothing really came up except the library for the god of knowledge, but that was just, hey, you have to pay money. It's like, oh, all right, I get nothing from this, but that's the one I would go with. But on page 7, I'm going for the temples. I feel like I've been kind of working in the temples, seeing what they have to offer now that I'm kind of lost and looking for something else. And I'm an associate of one of the temples, apparently, and I was promised good fortune in last year's parade.
I sent you my stuff through Discord private messages, Tom.
Yep, I literally, I'm like, oh shit, I got a message. Responding. Anyway.
Perfect.
So yeah, no, cool. All right. So yeah, so everybody, like, those are homework assignments, and you can say no, I don't care about it, move on and do whatever. But what you do know is you are all members of the Resistance. You have all come into Poison Apple Tavern. Sounds like things are above you. Sounds like has started. Bam, 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 bam. And we'll go from there next week when we pick up.
Okay. I think if to add on to homework, if we can start thinking of a group name, because I know we've tried this before and it never actually ended up being anything.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah.
It's always just like, oh, the heroes. And it's like, yeah, that's boring, but we're coming up with nothing else, so that's fair.
Yeah.
But all right, cool.
We'll see what happens. But you know what? Good session 0. Good job, everybody. Thank you. And I would love to say I can't wait to kill you next week. What I can't wait to do, see what you do. Go from there. All right. We'll talk to you.
Very cool.
All right.
All right. Later.
Later, everybody.